All right, we are officially live. We have the first Juan Soto press conference that occurred earlier today. The Dodgers and I believe the Red Sox met with Yoshinobu Yamamoto today out in Los Angeles. Of course, because they were in Los Angeles, the Dodgers had an opportunity to give Yamamoto a stadium tour, an advantage the Yankees did not have in their meetings. But with that being said, with those both being kind of the two big news of the day, there are some other things that occurred, and we're going to get into the comments here and talk about some of the non-baseball Yankee baseball stuff that also occurred. Most notably the Jung Hoo Lee signing, who kind of out of nowhere, it was broken that he is signing a $113 million contract over the course of 6 seasons. And so, with that being said, let's get started looking at the comments here. Appreciate you guys all stopping by tonight. The MLB channel says, "Hi Ryan, what's good? I hope you're doing well." And I'm doing all right. So I appreciate you asking. Aiden Davila, who's been essentially on every single Yankee stream we've done. He asks, the Giants signed Jung Hoo Lee to a 6-year deal with an opt out after 4 years. This could potentially be the Giants superstar in San Francisco. Let's see how well he plays in Oracle Park. Good for Lee. Yeah. The money is good for Jung Hoo Lee. It's hard to say that he didn't get the money he was looking for. He got a nice piece of change there. Ultimately, is it an overpay? We'll have to wait and see. We don't know what his numbers are going to look like in Oracle Field. I understand that, the New York Yankees have, not the New York Yankees, excuse me, the San Francisco Giants have a ballpark that it does not conduce much game power, especially for lefties. But with that being said, it's a triples alley. Like there's a triples alley out there. I think Jung Hoo Lee will play well. I think he has great contact skills. I actually did a video on him. And I liked a lot of what I saw in his profile. Do I think that he's worth $100 million? I don't know. Would I have given him that if I was the Yankees? Probably not. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that it's not a deal that the Giants should have made. It doesn't mean it's a bad deal. We'll have to wait and see on that front. I'm not going to sit here and conclude it as a good or bad deal. Yeah, $113 million. William goes, Yamamoto is getting $300 to $350 million. I think $300 million, I would say $300 million over 9 years. It feels like the number we could see for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who, he has quite the bidding war. He has guys like the Los Angeles Dodgers, the New York Yankees, the New York Mets, the Boston Red Sox, the Chicago Cubs, teams of that nature, the Toronto Blue Jays, the San Francisco Giants, right? Like these are all teams that are going to be involved in that mix. Jack Curry kind of said this. He feels like it's going to be a 3-team race between the Dodgers, Mets, and Yankees. I think a lot of the media market surrounding the situation with the Yamamoto sweepstakes would indicate that it's going to be the 3-team race, but we'll have to wait and see. His market is robust. Everybody wants a chance at having a 25-year-old who could be an ace. We'll have to wait and see there. Moving on a little bit. Yamamoto is signing with the Yankees, even though every Dodger fan might want him on the same team as Ohtani, but he's coming to the Bronx. Please, Yamamoto. I still feel the same way as I did yesterday, right? The Yankees do not typically miss out on guys, that they have a lot of interest in and that have a lot of interest in playing for them. So, until that precedent is broken, I'm going to sit here and have confidence that the Yankees are going to do their best and, are going to have a really strong chance at signing Yamamoto. Am I of the opinion that the Dodgers and Mets can't get him? No, I don't think it's a sure thing either way. But what I do think is that the Yankees have a good chance, and I'm confident. LB Channel goes, yo, what's good, my man? I hope you're having a good night. Not so fun family vision says, hey, Ryan. Hey, I hope you're doing well, my man. Great guy on Twitter, great guy on the streams as well. Love seeing you here. Let's see. Hayden says hi to Aiden. It rhymes there, see. Trevor, who's been, again, a guy who's been on every single one of these lives, Trevor Alley, he goes, hi, Ryan. Hey, I hope you're doing all right. Pistol Pete 2K3, he's a good friend of mine on Twitter. He says, we are here. We are, in fact, here, guys. Very excited to do tonight's stream and get into, some of the stuff with Yamamoto and obviously the first conference with Soto. Danny Wagner goes, is it true that MLB would not allow the Yankees to defer some of Judge's salary? It probably was not true. I don't know where that report came from that the Yankees were trying to defer money and were not allowed to. Sorry. Go ahead here. Long day. I have not seen anything that suggested that MLB disallowed the Yankees to do such a thing. But if anybody has any reports that they'd like to share on that front, definitely send them in the chat. Tyler Tabol goes, hey, Ryan. Hey, I hope you're doing well, Tyler. Hope you're having a good night. Aiden says hi to Hayden. I just got home, asked Trevor, so I missed the whole Soto conference. You can give me a quick wrap around of it? Yeah, so to kind of break down the Juan Soto press conference, you guys can check out my write-up on empiresportsmedia.com. But, the big thing here was that Soto was kind of like, hey, I love New York. I love playing in New York. It's fun. He has family here. He talks about kind of, there's something different to wearing the Yankees hat. There is something cool about, playing in New York. He was very much like, hey, very open-ended answers regarding extensions, very much like, hey, I'll let, he's actually said this word for word, who to call in regards to an extension. That's referring to Scott Boras, of course. He said he's focused on winning, focused on playing baseball. I don't think he's going to get extended. I don't think that was not the case beforehand, but I think that was the case, beforehand. I think that was the case before he even got traded. Scott Boras clients don't take extensions, and Juan Soto is no different. So, I still think he's going to hit the open market. I don't think that's because of the press conference, but I think that, following the press conference, that opinion stayed the same, right? There was nothing he was going to say in that presser that I think was going to change the opinion of Yankee fans, and certainly nothing that Scott Boras would allow him to say to give away any leverage here. So, a lot of it was just, I want to play for the Yankees. I'm excited to win, and all that stuff. So, we'll wait and see here. Jake goes, good for the Giants. The Yankees fan, yeah, they got their guy, and it's good for the Giants. Good for him. Was Lee's contract a sign of desperation by San Francisco, in your opinion? They've missed out on a lot of free agents over the last few years. So I think it's pronounced Sankit. You can clarify that for me in the comment section. But Sankit, I don't think it was a sign of desperation. I think it was just a matter of, they wanted their guy. They are, they feel strongly probably about their scouting report. And, I think end of the day that, I think that Jung-Hoo Lee and the Giants are going to be a good match. I think they're going to be a good match, but most importantly, I think he's going to have an opportunity to play every day, which is important. And, he's on the West Coast, and that's a lot closer to Korea in terms of geography. So I think that's something he would have liked as well. I think it's a good match for both sides. We'll have to wait and see, but it definitely is more than what I anticipated Lee getting, entering the offseason. Kyle Roth goes, hey, Ryan, I hope you're doing well, Kyle. Appreciate you stopping by. BJ Blitz goes, the odds of Yamamoto signing with anyone but the LA Tax Dodgers at this point are negligible. Exploit to win. Nobody can compete. They have more money now, and he's going to want to play with Ohtani. I don't really see any reports that would indicate this. I'm not saying that he's not going, to be that the New York Yankees are going to end up, signing Yamamoto. But again, they have a lot of interest. I can tell you that. They have a ton of interest. I can tell you that, Yamamoto does have interest in playing with the Yankees. That's not my report. That's, reports from other people. I'm not reporting anything, obviously, that's new. This is just me kind of regurgitating or syndicating or aggregating all the information that's come out about the Yamamoto sweepstakes. He has interest in the Dodgers. He grew up a Dodger fan. He wants to take a lot of money because you want to take the most money. And that's what it comes down to. It's a normal free agent saga. Everything in free agency comes down to that. I'm not saying it's an East Coast preference, a West Coast preference, but here's what he has. He has he wants to make a lot of money. And I do think, that, the Yankees are going to be one of the teams that present the most money. So, we'll see. With that being said, his stat line of 300, 310, 380 singles or death. He'll walk more than that. I think he'll walk a ton more than that. He definitely has good play discipline. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I am so tired. Jake goes, honestly, as long as this isn't the Dodgers, lol, even the Mets at this point over the Dodgers, I would say as long as it's not the Red Sox, right? You want to have your team, to have the ability to compete. You want your team to win the division. We'll worry about the NL when we get there. That's my view of it, but that's how I see it. JJ goes, do you think the Yankees will be interested in Imanaga if they don't get Yamamoto, even though I think they will get Yamamoto? I think they'll show interest in Imanaga. That market hasn't really kind of percolated for the Yankees yet. They haven't really put themselves in conversations to go out and get, hey, we're going to go out and this is what we're going to do. We're going to go and pivot to this guy or that guy. They seem dead set on the Yankees going out, and the Yankees seem dead set on going out and getting, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But we'll wait and see. Shota Imanaga kind of reminds me of Clayton Kershaw. I wouldn't say that. Kershaw definitely gives up softer contact. I would say Nestor Cortez is a much better comparison here. I think that it's a matter of I think it's a matter of the fact that his stuff plays similarly. They have low slot fastballs. They don't throw very hard. I think Kershaw's stuff, the fastball velocity relative to the era, is a little bit different than I think people give it credit for. But that's my view of it. And personally, I think that a Kershaw comp is just a little bit much. Zach G goes, hey Ryan, Soto 2024 MVP. I think Juan Soto has a great chance of winning the AL MVP, as does Aaron Judge, as do guys like Yordan Alvarez, as do guys like, even Corey Seager. But I personally think we're going to see, I think that the fact that you have two of the top like 3 AL MVP contenders for 2024, you should feel good about that, right? Like there's a good chance, relatively speaking, of course, that the Yankees walk away with an MVP this season, which that'll be something that'll greatly boost their World Series odds. Mike J goes, at first I thought the Yankees were going to sign up, but now I'm leaning towards the Dodgers. Again, I think the Yankees, Dodgers, if those are your two, those are either your two picks, and of course the Mets as well for Yamamoto to sign. I think they're all the correct, like those are all good process selections for, if you're evaluating the market, if you're evaluating reports and you're saying, hey, where will Yoshinobu Yamamoto sign? Say it's the Yankees, if you say it's the Dodgers, if you say it's the Mets, I think all are rational numbers here. Tyler Tabo goes, Yamamoto time. We need him. We need him, and I want him, so bad. Aiden Davila goes, Ronnie Mauricio tore his ACL yesterday. What do the Mets do for third base? Who should they replace? Who should they get to replace Mauricio until he comes back? This is bad for the Mets. Hope he comes back healthy for the Mets. Yeah, Mauricio playing in the Dominican Winter League, so obviously it sucks to see him get hurt there. It sucks to see him get hurt in general. I actually thought about this a little bit. Like, I'm just gonna float this out there. Would the Mets be interested in any of the Yankees infield depth, right? Like the Yankees have some infield depth, obviously. They have Cabrera, Peraza, the recent addition of Jorbit Vivas, obviously LeMahieu. I don't think that the two sides are going to make a deal. I don't think the Mets are interested in, taking on LeMahieu's contract. I don't think the Yankees are interested in, handing Peraza over for just nothing, although, that could certainly be a thing. And I don't think the Mets are interested in adding Vivas, as like a third base replacement, given that he hasn't really conquered AAA yet. So, I don't know exactly what they're going to do. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure. I don't. Andy Martino kind of mentioned like maybe Justin Turner, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Opera Doc goes, what pitchers do we go for if the Dodgers get Yamamoto? Imanaga makes sense. I think they have interest in Montgomery, but I don't think they should give him that contract. Maybe Frankie Montas. Maybe they bring in like Montas. Maybe they go out and get some relievers and kind of like just shore up the pitching depth and kind of put them in a position to, try to recalibrate at the deadline. We'll wait and see. But yeah, I don't necessarily know, what the Yankees pivot market looks like. That's kind of something we even saw Jack Curry mentioned on Hot Stuff. I'm yawning a ton today. I don't know what's going on. I had a Red Bull too. What's it like being on the Yankees official Zoom press conferences? Are you going to be able to go to ones in person? Naftali, it's awesome. It's been great. I can't speak to, whether I'm going to be able to go in person or not. That's not my call. I'd love to, but again, that's the Yankees call. When they do in-person stuff. But yeah, it was certainly, it was great. It was awesome. It was a great feeling. It was sick. So like definitely an awesome experience. And, I'm looking forward to doing more of those. So hopefully the Yankees keep giving us invites and hopefully, at some point I can get some questions in. We'll see though. Z Mashi, I have a bad feeling Yamamoto's going to go to the Dodgers after that huge salary deferment. They're certainly motivated. The motivation's there. They're definitely motivated. What you kind of hope for is that, they miss out on Yamamoto, obviously. You're hoping on that. You're hoping that because they're looking at pivot options, because they're interested in Imanaga's market, because they're interested in Glasnow's market, because they're interested in anything else, that the Yankees are going to be in a position where, they're maybe the most motivated. They're the ones that refuse to be outbid. But then again, you could argue that for the Mets, right? Like maybe the Mets are in a position where they're like, hey, they don't want to be outbid here. But we'll see. We'll wait and see on that front. I'm not entirely sure what exactly it's going to happen, but I'm hoping. I'm really, really, really hoping that, the Yankees are the ones to land Yamamoto. Soto seems giddy and excited. Hopefully that's a sign. Hopefully, man. I think it is. I think he's a sign that, he's going to like New York. But, end of the day, money talks. Money talks louder than fanfare, in my opinion. Drew Thorpe, I'm not liking San Diego at all. This guy's hilarious. I'm sorry. This guy's comical. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I know this is not Drew Thorpe, but it's so funny. Will there be another press conference where they put his jersey on? Danny, I imagine there would be. Like, the Yankees aren't in New York, right? Like, they were just in LA. And, I don't know if they've come back yet. They probably haven't come back in a day. Soto's still in Miami, so we'll see if there's an in-person presser, and we'll see how that goes. Aiden Davila, great question, man. Mets are the only team with MLB players doing summer league outside league shit. I'm pretty sure there are other teams that have players like, look, the Winter League is a good opportunity to get experience. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Aaron Hicks, the year before, I think it was before 2022, did Winter League stuff to get himself back online. Position players, they do their thing. The Dominican Winter League is pretty competitive. So I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. It's just that they happen to have two guys play in non-major league sanctioned events. I don't want to say sanctions and non-major league approved, but events that are not major league sanctioned. They're not held by Major League Baseball, and they happen to have two ACL tears. That's bad luck. That's all that is. Yamamoto will be signing a 9-year, $255 million contract with the Yankees. I think it's going to be higher than that. I think the Yankees are going to sign, if the Yankees sign him or whoever signs him, I think it'll be a $285 million contract over 9 years. That's exactly what I'm going to say. Ryan, you're too young to need a nap in the middle of the day. I am. I don't like napping. I don't even know why I'm so tired, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even tired. Like I'm pretty awake. I'm just yawning a little bit. So, we'll wait and see on that front. I thought Yamamoto was a Yankees fan. No, he was a Dodger fan. He is he's intrigued by the allure of the pinstripes. I think that's the exact wording Andy Martino used. But he was a Dodger fan growing up. That does matter a little bit here. I do think he would love to play in New York. I think he would love being a New York Yankee. I think he knows that. I think the Yankees have a good shot at this. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. Just double checking it, make sure that I got the wording right on the Martino quote. I have that article bookmarked just so that I can reference it whenever, because yeah. Also, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. There's 204 people in here right now, which is awesome. That's a great number. We appreciate you guys so much for swinging in. But make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to push to, 10K. I hate doing promos in between questions, but we're trying to push to 10K. We can get there. We can get there before the new year. So we'd love to see you guys do that. So thank you so much. Trevor Alley goes, maybe Yamamoto doesn't want to play second fiddle to Ohtani. Maybe he wants to be his own player, make his own legacy, have his own spotlight, not be Ohtani's little brother. So I don't know how much validity there is to this. He mentioned he's open, or his agent mentioned that he's open to playing with other Japanese players. That would lead me to believe that this is the type of guy who's going to want to play with other Japanese players, who's going to want to, explore, the opportunity of playing with a guy like Ohtani. I feel like that quote was specifically to say, hey, whoever signs Ohtani, if you want to sign Yamamoto, he's still willing to do this. Now, playing for a contender matters a lot to him. And it's hard to argue the Dodgers aren't a contender. Now, the thing the Yankees could argue back is that, well, if we have you around, you being, of course, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, alongside Juan Soto, alongside other players, we could be in a situation where, the Yankees, or not the Yankees, excuse me, the Yamamoto is one of the best pitchers and one of the best players on a contending Yankee team. So, we'll wait and see on that front. But, personally, I think we're looking at a player who is not opposed to playing alongside a great talent like Shohei Ohtani, but I think the New York Yankees are certainly a dog in this race. I think they have a really good chance. Anthony Volpe will be an all-star this year. I think there's a chance. I think obviously he plays on a big enough market where if he were to play well, it wouldn't go unnoticed. But yeah, I am actually really excited to see how that goes. I'm excited to see if he ends up, kind of pushing the envelope and getting himself in position to be an all-star this year. The glove was good enough. The base running is good enough. The bat just has to be solid. That's all. The bat just has to be solid, and I think he'll be able to get the job done. Let's see. Seeing Yankee fans complaining about other teams spending is hilarious. Yeah, I agree. Look, the Dodgers did everything legally and the way they should have. I'm not going to sit here and yuck their yum. I'm not going to sit here and make claims of it's illegal. It shouldn't be allowed. What it should be is the Yankees should try to do it for a player that's interested. Now, I will say this, the CBA not agreeing to deferral limits 2 years before the impending free agency, or a year before the impending free agency, the impending free agency of the most impactful free agent of the last decade and a half is a little crazy. And he's the only guy who could pull this off. And that's Ohtani, because he has the off-field branding to make that money. But end of the day, it was the CBA never agreed to it. It was never a part of the CBA agreement. There are no deferral limits. I can't sit here and say what the Dodgers did was amoral or, bad for the game. It will likely never happen again. So, that's how I view that situation. I don't see Yamamoto going to LA to play second fiddle to Ohtani when he would be the Japanese ace in New York. Again, as I mentioned, I don't think that's something that he's opposed to. I don't think we'll have to wait and see. I don't know him. I do not know Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I do not know him at all. But I do know that Joe Wolf said he's open to playing with other Japanese players. I'm assuming that Shohei Ohtani is part of that equation. I'm just connecting the dots here. He's a Dodger fan. I imagine that matters. But end of the day, as you mentioned, maybe there is a little bit more allure of like, hey, you aren't second fiddle to Shohei Ohtani. Though one could reasonably argue you are second fiddle to Aaron Judge, and you are second fiddle to Garrett Cole, and you are second fiddle to Juan Soto. But we'll have to wait and see on that front. Obviously, they look positive. At least Jack Curry seemed positive about the Yankees' negotiation with Yamamoto, so that's at least encouraging. I'm not sure if they're doing hot stove. I'll see when the next hot stove is. But yeah, it's certainly something to monitor as we get close into these negotiations. And you really have to kind of weed out. You really have to start fine-tuning details. You have to pay attention to every single detail when we talk about a guy like Yamamoto who's going to have who has a very, very robust market, not who's going to have. I'm just looking at the schedule, seeing if there's any. There's a press conference for 5 a.m. apparently on Thursday. I don't think that's true. I think that's just a rerun of the presser. And there's hot stove on Thursday at 6:30, according to the schedule. So just letting you guys know. Yamamoto was a Dodger fan, West Coast, close to Japan, but he was seen wearing a Yankee hat one time, and he's interested. Again, I think he would love to play for the New York Yankees. I don't want to sit here and say he's a Dodger fan. He'll never play for the Yankees. I'm very optimistic about the Yankees' chances of landing, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and I'm very optimistic that the Yankees' pursuit of him and their interest in him is about as legit as reporters have said, if not more legit than reporters have let on, just because of how interested Jack Curry has made it seem the Yankees are. And Jack Curry is the guy who I would consider the most in tune with what's going on with the Yankees. Winners focus solely on who they want. Pivot later. Absolutely. The New York Yankees are not pivoting right now. The New York Yankees are in position to try to go get Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And, yesterday I kind of was like, well, I don't know what they're going to do with the luxury tax, but the Yankees have been over the luxury tax for 15 years in a row once, right? They've been in the luxury tax every single year since 2019. They're going to remain over the luxury tax for the foreseeable future. Their ability to reset it is going to get better with new bargaining agreements because in 2026, for example, that first threshold is going to be $244 million. If the Yankees are around, right now, with Soto and Yamamoto, they'll be roughly around that $300 million mark. They'll probably have, close to about $50 to $60 million coming off the books over the course of the next 3 years. They'll have enough money that opens up that they can say, all right, let's push ourselves back under, let's say 270 or 280 or even 260, right? And get themselves in that first threshold and have a lower tax penalty. And then, of course, as they try to, reset the luxury tax again, I imagine that's something that happens, following the contract of Stanton and Cole and Judge and all that stuff. Moving on here. He's interested in New York. That's obviously Trevor following up on his previous point. Do you think that Austin Wells will be the opening day catcher? I believe Austin Wells is the catcher versus righties. I think Jose Trevino is the catcher versus lefties. Because the opening day starter will be Garrett Cole, I believe the opening day catcher will be Jose Trevino. Does that mean Austin Wells is not going to play on opening day? Not necessarily. Could he DH if Giancarlo Stanton isn't playing? Maybe. Giancarlo Stanton's health obviously is a big variable here. He has not been healthy all the time. And, that's a question you have to ask yourself if you're the New York Yankees. But ultimately, I think he will not be starting on opening day because of the fact that you're going to have Jose Trevino catching, and I believe Jose Trevino is the designated catcher for Garrett Cole, and that makes sense. He's a great defender, and Garrett Cole likes having a guy like Trevino who can really frame. Alvarez, I think, will struggle to stay healthy in his career. If this is, Jordan or not sure if it's Jordan or whatchamacallem or Francisco Alvarez. Drew, please clarify in the comment section below. But if it's Jordan, he has had injury issues. If it's Francisco, any catcher has injury questions, but he's been relatively durable. Yamamoto won't sign for $2 million a year. Yeah, he's not going to take deferred payments. He does not have the off-field branding that Yamamoto does. Maybe in a second contract, that's a possibility, but not in a first contract. And again, it's just hard for me to imagine anybody who can take the deferrals that Ohtani did because nobody really has that off-field pull that Ohtani does in Major League Baseball. Agent Trevino will probably open the season. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I referred to. Great job getting ahead of the curve on that. You actually commented that before I even saw the question. My Kershaw comes because of the slider. Imanaga's best pitch to his slider. It reminds me of 2021 to 2022 Kershaw. Still a very good pitcher, by the way. You're saying 2021 to 2023 Kershaw, which is a pitcher who's given up a good amount of home runs. I would say, yeah, that's actually a really good comparison. Lower velocity. Now, the fastball is better. The fastball is definitely better for Imanaga at this stage of his career. It's a little bit firmer, a little bit better, swing and miss potential. But, Kershaw's given up a 1.404 home run per nine, has a 2.75 ERA, decent amount of home runs, not a lot of walks, good amount of strikeouts. some hard quality of contact this past season. I think it's a pretty good comparison for Shota Imanaga. Guy's going to get hit pretty hard for now. We'll see if that gets better, but gets a lot of strikeouts and is very aggressive in zone. Kyle Roth goes, I hope the Yankees get Yamamoto. I 100% agree. When's the Yamamoto to the Dodgers presser? Nando, 390, hopefully, literally never. Does Victor Gonzalez kill a Wandy Peralta reunion or nah, we can have both? I think we can have both. I think it's possible, but I do think the Victor Gonzalez signing means, okay, just go get the best reliever available. It does not have to be a left-handed reliever. Now you have a left-handed reliever. If you're asking me for some candidates, I think Jordan Hicks would be awesome. Personally, if the price tag is similar and you can choose between Robert Stevenson and Jordan Hicks, I would say go for Robert Stevenson. If the New York Yankees are not looking to spend a ton of money, I would go out and say, all right, try to bring back Keenan Middleton, a guy who's familiar with the New York market after spending some time here, had some success, got a little bit better when he was with the Yankees, and isn't going to cost too much. So that's kind of my wish list. I would say, priciest option would probably be Stevenson, and that would be the one. That's the most money I'd be willing to spend on a reliever, and I think he'd be worth it. The guy that I think could get better with the Yankees and see the most improvements in the organization would be Jordan Hicks, and the guy who I think is the most financially feasible, given that you're likely going to go out and sign a guy like Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That answer to me is Keenan Middleton. Mayhem goes, Kershaw's probably the greatest pitcher in the last decade. Clayton Kershaw, I believe, is the best pitcher in baseball since Pedro Martinez. At least, before DeGrom came along. That's my take on it. Although I would say DeGrom on a pound-for-pound basis, arguably up there with anybody we've ever seen. But in terms of just a peak, being dominant, being healthy, pitching, Kershaw, Pedro, those two guys, two of the best peaks we've seen not just in my lifetime, because Pedro kind of predated me, really in the last 40 years. Randy Johnson's I'll be thrown in there, but Kershaw has one of those peaks where you're like, good Lord. Moving on a little bit here. Should we trade Clark Schmidt and let Luis Gil be in our bullpen instead, or send Gil to AAA? I think the New York Yankees should, they should have as much pitching depth as possible, view all depth as a plus. Having a surplus of pitching is a good thing. You are in a position where you've traded some pitching, you've traded Johnny Brito, you've traded Randy Vasquez, you've traded Michael King, you've traded Drew Thorpe, you've traded Richard Fitz, you've lost plenty of guys in the Rule 5 draft. I should also add on, they lost Greg Weissert, who was at least a competent major league reliever. The Yankees should be in a position right now where they're saying, all right, if we have a surplus of pitching depth, that's a good thing. They need a surplus of pitching depth. Leslie Anderson said, they're saying my Braves are a dark horse contender for Yamamoto. I don't know if they've met. So I wouldn't say they're a dark horse, and I don't think that that's in their financial willpower. They were not willing to make a great offer for Aaron Nola. They seem to be priced out of Eduardo Rodriguez. I don't think they're going to be giving out a $300 million contract to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That's my opinion on it. Wait, you were at the conference? What the fuck? That's awesome. There was no in-person conference. It was a Zoom conference, and yes, I was there for the Zoom meeting. But I definitely think that it would be, I think this is awesome. I think this is something that, how do I put this? I think that the New York Yankees are, an organization that should be strict with the people they have in their Zoom meetings and all that stuff. They're the New York Yankees. And, I don't want to come off as a fanboy here, but it's an honor that I have not really gotten over. And I hope that experience isn't the pinnacle, and that's just us getting it started here at ESM. The Yankees will only be outbid if they want to be. I agree. There will only be outbid if they want to be. Mayhem goes, is there any way we get Blake Snell? I don't think the New York Yankees are going to land Blake Snell. I don't think that the New York Yankees are that interested in Blake Snell. I think it's Yamamoto or bust. BJ Blitz, assuming the Yankees sign some pitching depth or quality, I feel like Rodon and Rizzo could be two of the deciding factors for the Yankees over this season, over the Yankees being good versus elite. Obviously, plus health. Thoughts. BJ Blitz on the most recent podcast Alex and I did this morning. You guys should go check that out. Talking about the Yankees rotation, looking at it with Yamamoto, looking at it in the state of the rotation currently. I believe that, Rodon is the biggest component to the Yankees' pitching success. Honestly, you could argue he's the biggest component to their success in general. Even if they get Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the signing of Yamamoto precludes them from getting any more pitching, at least big-time pitching. They're not going to go out and trade massive assets for, a multi-year commitment. They're not going to go pay a $200 million contract for a pitcher. That is going to be the rotation for a while. That is the Yankees saying, all right, this is our rotation. We got to hope it works. And that is an expensive, that is a limiting, and that is a killer of a black hole to have in your rotation if Rodon does not figure it out. And then for Rizzo, he just deepens the lineup if you can have him in there, right? If you have Rizzo hitting, fourth or fifth in your lineup, or maybe it's third, I don't know, but depending on if you're leading off Soto or not, he can really change the tide of this team. When he was going well, before the concussion, he had from 2022 to that concussion, like a 500, no, not 500, excuse me, like a 700 play appearance sample size of being, an elite hitter from the left-handed side. I'm going to pull up the numbers now, and I know that this is going to take just a little bit of time. Just be patient with me. He suffered the injury on May 28th, so we're going to go click May 28th. I apologize again, guys. I know that this is unbecoming of me, but it's too bad. I believe in getting this stuff right. And this is an interesting thought experiment. So between the start of 2022 and the injury in 2023, he had a 777 plate appearance sample size. That's 183 games. We had a 349 OBP, a 487 slugging percentage, and a 137 WRC plus. If he's a 120 to 125 WRC plus, that's huge. If he is a 130 to 135 WRC plus, good Lord, that lineup's going to be good, especially when you have Gleyber Torres. You know, you have a lot of young guys in the mix there. You know, the addition of Alex Verdugo should at least give you some stability in left field. I know that I'm not a big fan of Verdugo. I'm not a huge fan of you know, the person he is. I'm a fan of the profile, but not the person. But, you know, he's definitely better than what they have in left field. He's definitely better than what they had in left field before this. So I think Rizzo and Rodon certainly elevate the floor and the ceiling of this team if those two guys can go up the expectations. Again, could you imagine a 2022 version of Carlos Rodon with Garrett Cole and Yoshinobu Yamamoto? Good freaking Lord, guys. That's all I have to say. Pistol Pete 2K goes, I'm starting to feel like LA was going to go all in for Yamamoto no matter how much he was deferred, but the whole deferred thing certainly doesn't help. I think the Dodgers were serious about Yamamoto regardless, and we just expected that wasn't the case. And because we were shocked by that, it's kind of shifted our perspective. I don't think, you know, the Dodgers should be discounted. The Dodgers are going to be heavily in the mix here. They want Yamamoto. They need starting pitching. The Yankees also need starting pitching, and the Yankees should go out and view a guy like Yamamoto as a must, as their white whale, as a cannot miss out, as a change the franchise, as a, you know, all, like just all of these words, all these buzzwords that, you know, we throw around with guys like Juan Soto. Same thing there. Patrick Sinclair laughs. I'm not sure what he's laughing about, but yeah. I asked for number 22. We'll see what happens. I love this guy so much. Nettie Rivera goes, all these ridiculous contracts. Sounds like Soto trade all over again. Nettie, I'm not going to say it's ridiculous. I think Soto was a more sure thing than Yamamoto, but I will say a lot of the fear and speculation, it does feel a lot like we're kind of talking to ourselves here, right? We're kind of panicking ourselves. I'm not saying the New York Yankees are going to guarantee to get Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but God damn it, we are the New York Yankees. We're not scared of other teams. We're not scared of other owners. We're scared of one thing and one thing only, and that's not winning the World Series. Our goal is the World Series. That's everything we want. You know, everybody's talking about, oh my God, they're going to let Soto walk in free agency. You see all these people pulling the quote of, he said while he's here. That's GM talk. That's agent talk. That's player talk. That's PR crap that Boris gave him. Here's my opinion on Yamamoto and Soto. If the New York Yankees really want Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and if the New York Yankees really want Juan Soto long-term, whether that's now, whether that's in the winter, they're going to get Soto long-term. If they really want Yamamoto, they're going to get Yamamoto long-term. All right? I know that this is me talking and yelling and sounding like a Yankee boy, but I'm sorry, until I see the precedent of the Yankees being outbid, I'm not going to believe it. There have been owners with deeper pockets than the Yankees who have more money than Hal Steinbrenner, who have gotten outbid by Hal Steinbrenner. The Dodgers ownership group, I'm going to search it up right now. Dodgers ownership group, ownership net worth. They're worth $5.8 billion. 5.8. Here's Hal Steinbrenner's net worth. We're going to check this. Hal Steinbrenner's worth $1.3 billion. So the Dodgers have been able to outbid the Yankees for years. And we got Garrett Cole. And we spent on Aaron Judge. I'm sorry, but look, I don't give a crap what Steve Cohen's worth, what the Dodgers are worth. The Yankees get the job done because they're the Yankees. All right? As arrogant as that sounds, until I see evidence suggesting otherwise or a track record of them not doing it, I'm going to continue to believe it. Nicholas Kroll goes, are you able to explain the Roki Sasaki situation? I don't understand when he wants to come over so early and lose out on that money and explain how he would decide his team like a normal free agency. I'm not an expert on this, so please take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not going to speak on things I don't know. I don't know why he wants to come over sooner, but what I do know is that, if you were to come over before being posted, you would get 6 years of service time on him. Just like Shohei Ohtani, you sign him to a signing bonus, but he would be under the league minimum. You give him arbitration years, all that crap. Then he has free agency like a normal free agent. He should wait. He should wait and go and get a crap ton of money, right? That's what he should do, because if he waits until he's a free agent, I believe that's only 2 more off seasons from now, and he, ever logs 180 innings, he will make an insane amount of money. Now I do wonder if maybe it's about a branding thing. Maybe he thinks he can develop his brand here. Maybe he just wants to come over to the United States. Maybe he just wants a new challenge. But personally, if you ask me financially, I think he should go wait it out, go to free agency, get an opt out after year 4. Take your opt out in your 20s, if you pitch well enough, and then go set the market again. That's what Yamamoto should do. That's what he's going to do most likely, and that's what I think Sasaki should do. But I am not Sasaki's agent. I am not privy to all of the loopholes in Japan. So please do not credit me as the guy who is the expert. There are plenty of other experts. Wilfred, who's a guy who visits my streams frequently in the comment section. He is an absolute genius when it comes to international baseball. So if he stops around or if he stops by, make sure you guys, I'll make sure to kind of be like, hey, can you kind of talk about this a little bit? Jake goes, 10 years, $255 million. We'll get it done for Yamamoto. I don't think it's going to be $355 million. Remember, the posting fee is going to play a role here. I think it's going to limit his ceiling as for what he can get in the free agent market. But personally, I believe that the New York Yankees are going to make a offer of at least $300 million. I know that sounds dumb. But I do think that the New York Yankees are going to, I think the New York Yankees are going to be in a good spot. I think the New York Yankees are going to be in a good spot. I think they're making a good offer, but we'll wait and see. Ryan, did you ask any questions at the conference? I did not. They have to give, let's be real here. They have 30 minutes. They have a lot of, they have 30 minutes. They have a lot of questions. They had international and domestic reporters. International, of course, Latin reporters. Domestic being, U.S.-based reporters. They had a lot to get through. And, these are big-time conferences. These are the New York Yankees, right? We have to clarify that. I have to get my feet wet. I don't get to just walk into the building and say I'm the man and start taking questions, start getting my questions asked before guys like the Chris Kershaw's of the world or, the John Heymans or, even some guys that work for the New York Daily News. You have guys you have Greg Joyce, for example, for the New York Post, a good writer, of course. You have plenty of really talented writers out there. So I'm not the main character. I'm not the best writer in the world. Hopefully I get to that point where I can ask questions frequently. But I do understand that, Juan Soto's time is a luxury and, can't hold him up there for an hour and a half asking questions. Richard C goes, Juan Soto playing Nintendo was the biggest takeaway. I agree. That was easily the biggest takeaway. That was actually pretty funny. Adam goes, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce last names. And I don't want to butcher yours. I know this is a complete projection, but what do you think? Who do you think will have the highest Verdugo, WRC plus of Verdugo, Wells, or Volpe this season? Thank you for your off-season content. Adam, I appreciate you stopping by. You're the man. I appreciate the positive comments. I'm going to say safe projection. I'm going to go with Verdugo. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go with Austin Wells. I think Austin Wells will have the best WRC plus in this group. I believe Austin Wells is the most talented hitter. Currently out of the group of farm guys. And yeah, so I'm actually really, really excited to see, I'm excited to see how this ends up playing out. We'll see. But I think that Wells will be the best hitter. I think he'll put up a 110 WRC plus. I have Verdugo at a 105, and I believe Volpe will be around a 100. Those are my projections. That's what I got for those three guys. We'll wait and see. I do believe Yamamoto wants to be a Yankee. East Coast baseball is real baseball. I agree. I'm sorry, Thorpe, that you will not have an opportunity to participate in that for now. That's fucked. Nettie Rivera, if he wants the Yankees, he will be one. So relax. I agree. If Yamamoto truly wants the Bronx, he'll be here. Ohtani will probably be walking into that meeting with Yamamoto. Nando 390, the deal is not it is official. But that meeting happened today, and I don't know if he was there for that. So we'll see. Drew Thorpe goes 7:10 today is 7:10 p.m. tomorrow in Japan. 10:30 p.m. today is 10:30 p.m. in Japan. Late start for fans. Yeah, no, time differences do matter a little bit here, so we'll see on that front. Danny Wagner, Ryan, I want to thank you for taking the time to try to address all questions we have. Love the channel. You're the man. Look, I am only where we are right now. We are only as good as we are because of you guys. So we want to thank you guys for the support, and we love doing this. We love doing this. I love streaming. I love talking to you guys. I blame MLB for spinning in the face of luxury tax, not the Dodgers. I agree. If you have any quarrels with this, you got to blame MLB. You've got to blame CBA. Can't blame the Dodgers. Can't blame Ohtani. Is it true that the Yankees are saving the number 18 for Yamamoto? This is true. Andy Martino did report this, and apparently Yamamoto took notice. So I like that. Nettie Rivera goes, Ohtani hurt twice, so that means he's broken down. I wouldn't say broken down, but definitely a risk pitching-wise. Now, again, if he's a closer and like a starter or a multi-inning reliever and a hitter, he's still worth $70 million. I know people don't like that, but he's worth $46 million towards the luxury tax for sure. Kyle Roths, could Soto and Judge be the best duo in MLB next season? Absolutely. Ohtani won't be pitching, so he's a DH. Not saying that means he's not going to be good, but you're going to probably see more defensive value from Soto, even though he's not a great defender. And then I think between Judge and Mookie, you're definitely kind of taking a flip there. I think those two will contend with, and Freeman / Betts, of course, is another contender in of itself. You have Olsen and Acuna, but I think Judge and Soto are the best combination of players at the position player side of things in Major League Baseball. And that's my take on it. I think projections would agree. And yeah, that's how I feel about the situation. Agent goes Thursday night. Yep, that will be the next hot stove Thursday. They need... I can't even read the name. They need Yamamoto. Yes, they do. Yankees need a true leadoff hitter in front of Soto and Judge. Durbin reminds me of Chuck Knobloch. What are his chances of sticking on this team? Man, so when we talked to Caleb Durbin over the offseason, which you guys should check out that interview, I did an article one and a video one as well. But man, this could be a really special player when we look at, his contact tools, his defensive versatility. I don't want to say special is like an all-star. I mean, special is in like a solid contributor. A guy could do a lot of things, a lot of positives for this team. So I'm actually really excited to see what he is next year. He's going to start out in AAA most likely. He succeeded in the Arizona Fall League. He succeeded in AA. He took massive strides with the organization. We'll see if the progression sticks and if he's able to crack his way onto the Major League roster. With that being said, Andy Martino also said on Mets Hot Stove that the Yankees are the favorites. The Dodgers got their Japanese star, and the Yankees seem content with, that. Yankees had a very strong meeting. Goes on to say the Mets are the underdogs in the sweepstakes. Oh my, hold on. This changes everything. Oh my goodness. Hold on. If this is true, I'm going to have to verify this. Andy Martino. I'm sorry, guys. We got some shit here. I'm going to go verify this. We got some shit here. Let's see. I'm going to look for the Yankees. Let's see. Andy Martino. Okay, this is some, let's see. Is there more on it? I'm not sure. I mean, I'm trying to look right now. I haven't seen anything to confirm this. Just a tweet. Does anybody have any confirmation? We need a freaking clip. SNY, where are you? Where's SNY right now? I need SNY in this right now. I need him. Where are they? There is nothing on Yamamoto here. Oh. Hold on. Let's see. I'm listening to the thing right now. I apologize. We're doing this live, folks. Let's see. Hold on. There's a bit more optimism for the Mets. They are underdogs. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. So he said the Mets are basically underdogs. Now, he said there's more optimism. But damn, I mean, that is the Mets being underdogs in this battle here is pretty big. Now the Dodgers, he's saying that the Mets are underdogs. Andy Martino said the Mets are the underdogs here. Now they've closed the gap. He mentioned they closed the gap between the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets. Obviously, the Yankees, Dodgers are kind of seen as a 1 and 2, and then the Mets have kind of, wouldn't say fallen back in the race, but more so the Dodgers and the Yankees are the leg up in terms of like interest from Yamamoto. And the Mets being an underdog here is huge. Now, I don't know if the Yankees are going to be the top suitor for Yamamoto. I don't know if the Yankees are going to end up with Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But holy shit, this feels good. Holy shit, this feels good, folks. Well, I'm going to check the quote sheets. Let's see. Somebody had to have picked this up. This is huge. I'm going to just kind of sift through comments. I don't want to skip over comments. If it's some stuff we've answered, I'll display the comment and kind of say we've answered this at some point. That's what I'll do, just to kind of, for the sake of moving things along. I apologize so much. Moving up. Where is this last question? All right, we're gonna go back and we're gonna kind of talk a little bit about. We're gonna go to the recent ones actually. Andy Martino has been reliable since 2022. Yeah, he's been good with the Yankees. At least with the Yankees, he's been good with the Yankees. Doesn't seem like Yamamoto's interested in going to the Mets, judging by some things I've heard. It seems like it's the Yankees and the Dodgers. Yeah, the Mets are not really the type of team that you can win now with. What do you think Grisham's role will be next season? Thanks for all the content. I love it. Thank you, Kyle. I think he's a fourth outfielder. He's a better fourth outfielder than the Yankees have had in recent memory. Certainly better than IKF out there. He's a Gold Glove center fielder, and he's got a bat against lefties, even though he's a left-hander, that will play well and complement with Verdugo, who hits right-handed pitching well. But man, no, this is huge. This is huge. The Yankees, I think, are going to... I feel good about the Yankees' chances. I feel really damn good about the Yankees' chances. Wait and see. Can you explain WRC Plus and its relevance? All right, quick little, as I try to sit here and try to, verify that this was said. I only heard the Mets part about the underdog. I want to see the specific thing that the Yankees are the favorites and the Dodgers are content with that, with their Japanese star being Yamamoto. I need to see that quote. If I don't see that quote, I'm not going to really see it. I'm not going to really believe it. So with that being said, can you explain WRC Plus? So WRC Plus is weighted runs created plus. It is a metric that takes into account basically weighted on base average, WOBA, which is a really good stat. It factors in slugging, on base, all that stuff, and it factors it in, and it weighs in for different outcomes and the run expectancy of those outcomes. And the plus of it just means it's adjusted for league average, right? So 100 is average. And if you're 105, that's 5% better than average. And if it's 95, that's 5% below average. So that's just me letting you guys know how WRC Plus works. Its relevance is that it is a very complete offensive metric. It details the entire story. You could read somebody's offensive production with the bat by just using WRC Plus. Now, it doesn't mean it's predictive. That doesn't mean your WRC Plus being good one year means it's going to be good the next year. That's just what I'm saying with that. Like, it is just a really good piece of data that is really important for evaluating offense. Now, moving on a little bit. Is the update Yankees sign Yamamoto? No, we have not signed Yamamoto, but they feel good about their chances. He's, Yankees feel optimistic here. So, I'm certainly excited to see if that trend can continue. Do you see the Yankees making trades involving Torres, Rizzo, and DJ? Torres, no, that he has not popped up in the trade market. LeMahieu has a no trade clause, so I'm going to say no. And then Rizzo is their first baseman. So I'm also going to say no. That's what I'll say. I'll say no, no, and no. I say all three of those guys are here next year. Although if the opportunity presented itself, I think that the New York Yankees would try to move a guy like LeMahieu to make some money. Let's see. Unload the vault, Hal. It's time. I agree. The New York Yankees need Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They need him in the rotation. He is the freaking guy. That's how I see it. But that's what I believe. Do you think Florial made a ball joke? It's just weird that he continues to get buried. He has the ability. Offensively, I wouldn't say he has the ability. The contact tools are just not good enough. It's just not good enough with the bat. He's got to get better offensively. And also, the Yankees have just had better options. I know that not everybody's been an outfielder, but he just can't really hit. It hasn't really stuck to the major league level. Maybe he finds value elsewhere, but yeah, I don't really think it's a bad thing that the Yankees haven't played him. Going to Red Sox. No, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, I don't think he's going to the Red Sox. The Yankees will get an opportunity to make the final pitch to Yamamoto. Hal will get this done. I believe that Hal Steinbrenner is not going to walk away from LA without Yoshinobu Yamamoto as a New York Yankee. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm going to firmly believe. Said H. I feel good about until hearing Ohtani deferred $680 million. It's insane. He's still making $46 million towards the luxury tax. That's not too different from what we expected him to make towards luxury tax. Now, did we expect the number to be maybe $50 million? Sure, but $46 million certainly isn't off from that number. It's just that we initially perceived that as $70 million based on the report. That's my opinion. If Yamamoto wants to win, he should pick the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, if that's his only priority, if that's all he cares about, yeah, I guess go pick the Dodgers. But I think he can go win with the Yankees too. I agree with you on Yamamoto. Yankees have a good chance, man. Let's hope you're right, and we get him. Our rotation would be nasty with a three-headed monster. I agree. Steve Cohen only plays 40-year-olds. The only young player threw a bag out was Lindor. He passed on a lot of players. Ohtani was the most recent example. I don't think, I don't think it was a matter of not wanting Ohtani, but he didn't make an offer. I think that just had to do with, I think he mentioned it too, like his agent never called Steve Cohen, and he didn't ever seem interested in playing in New York. So that's my view on it. Japan needs a primetime star. They already have Ohtani for late night ratings. Man, I really hope Yamamoto is a New York Yankee. I hope, like, the Japanese market, man, getting that market over here, international, dude, we would be special. We'd be special. The Giants were presented the same contract that Ohtani accepted with the Dodgers and were on board with it, but Ohtani said no. Yeah, I mean, why would you want to go play for the Dodgers? You can go play for the New York, go play for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're clearly better. What would you have asked Soto? I would have asked Juan Soto if, I would have asked Juan Soto how he felt, either A, about playing in front of the Dominican market. Obviously, Chris Kirschner actually ended up asking that question, so I'm pretty happy that he did ask that because I was really curious about that. I wanted to ask how he felt his preparation, not his preparation, his experiences in the World Baseball Classic and the World Series that he won, how those kind of allow him to kind of translate, or how he would take those experiences and apply them to playing in a big market like New York and handling the pressure of that. He also kind of touched on that a little bit. I didn't want to ask him anything about the extension. It felt like somebody else would. I didn't want to ask him anything about, what he thought about Yankee Stadium as much, because I felt like somebody would. Kind of want to find something specific, but people actually ended up asking a lot of good questions, so I was actually really happy about it. A big Soto signs until the end of Judge's contract. It makes sense. Don't be a one and done like with a team like the Yankees. I think it's a free agent thing. I think we'll see in free agency. That's what I personally believe. We'll have to wait and see. With that said, Yamamoto signing with the Dodgers or Yankees. I agree. Volpe will have a 115 to 120 WRC plus this season. I hope so. That would be huge for the New York Yankees because he'd be their leadoff hitter. Thoughts on Ohtani, two-way player. Thoughts on better than Ohtani, two-way player, Rowdy Tellez to Pittsburgh. Man, the Pittsburgh Pirates are such a sad team. That is such a sad team. Like, dude, that team doesn't spend. They've been bad for so long. That's such a sad team. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's a sad organization. Moving on, though. Over, under, 200 average for Volpe Stanton. Combined, I'd say take it. I would say, like, over. I'd say, like, they'll go, like, 230, 240 combined. Now, if you ask for Volpe specifically, I would say 250 is the number. I think he'll hit 250 next year. And I think that 250 will be enough for him to be, I think it'll not be enough for him to be a really good hitter. Timothy Cotron asks, what was the Martino quote? Essentially, the Yankees are the front runner. I'm trying to find the specific quote. I can't find the specific quote, but it's somebody basically saying, apparently he said that, the Yankees feel like the Dodgers feel content with their Japanese star in Ohtani, and the Yankees are, Yankees really want the guy. Now, I don't know. Again, I'm going to just say, this is what I'm going to say. What I saw on video from SNY was that the Yankees, the Mets are considered underdogs. That's confirmed. I saw him say it with my own eyes on the SNY page. You can go look at it yourself. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Martino said this on a live stream on Fireside Yankees if I haven't seen the actual clip itself or haven't seen Andy Martino report it. That's my common practice. That's how I'm going to operate here on Fireside Yankees. So officially, this is what I've said. Just want it to be clear. The Yankees, the Mets are underdogs according to Martino. And then I saw a tweet that suggested he said other things that are pretty important for the Yamamoto sweepstakes regarding the fact that the Yankees are considered the favorites and that the Yankees had a very strong meeting. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say that that's what happened because I didn't see him say that. And then I see some people saying that the Dodgers are still in on him. So, I'm going to sit here and say that I can't confirm the kind of the spicier parts of that. I can only confirm the Mets part of it where he said they're the underdogs. Out of that group of three, of course. There are better chances probably in the Red Sox and the Cubs. That's my perception of it. Yamamoto's not the guy. Roki Sasaki is a lot better than him. Hector Collazo, I think Sasaki is more talented. But he also has never pitched 180 innings, right? And look at the Yankees' issues. Having a guy who, and I'm going to get the exact number here. Roki Sasaki. Sorry, I am hiccuping a lot. I'm having my on-camera presence today has been suboptimal. He has pitched no more than 100. Yeah, he pitched 90. He pitched 91 innings this past year. He pitched 129 the year prior. This isn't a guy I look at and say, "Yup, this guy is durable." Not saying that you shouldn't sign him, but the Yankees need a guy like Yamamoto who is a workhorse, who is a true, top of the rotation kind of guy, and can, not saying Sasaki isn't, but a guy who can pitch 100 innings next year. That's how I view it. Tools will be hot after all the hitters in free agency sign. I think there will be more interest in Glaber, but I don't think the Yankees should be, sitting here and trying to shop him. I think if somebody gives an offer they cannot refuse, they should handle that. But for now, they should not try to shop him on the market. They need him. Let's see. They're showing Yamamoto the stadium soon. They showed him the stadium at Dodger Stadium. That's because he's in LA, so that's a little bit advantageous for the Dodgers, and the Yankees can't really do that. AO Perez 05 goes, two-headed monster. Rodon is not a monster. I think Rodon is still the same pitcher he was with the Giants, but injuries have obviously affected that. He's always been injury prone, so, is this new? No. Is he going to have to prove himself again? Absolutely. But I personally believe that he is still that same talent. It's just a matter of him applying, being healthy enough. Roki is at least 2 to 3 years away. That's another thing, too. The Yankees cannot trade for Juan Soto and say, hey, we're just waiting on Roki Sasaki. That would go against everything they've done in free agency and in the trade market. Jack A. Powers goes, has Yamamoto ever visited with the Dodgers yet? He did today. Where did the Yankees meet him? In L.A., not in New York. They went to L.A., which is where he's at, and that's where all teams will be meeting him. Shona Managa to the Los Angeles Dodgers after Yoshinobu Yamamoto to New York Yankees. I would love this. I need Yamamoto so bad. Let's see. Florial should have played last year for sure. They might have had an asset if he did. Maybe, but do I care? I don't really care. Right? I'm not gonna lie. I just don't really care. I don't really care about playing him because I don't really think it would have made a difference. And I know that sounds really harsh, and I'm not saying he's not a good person. I've heard a lot of good things about him as in terms of how he handled, being in AAA, how, he's a supportive guy. I've heard really good things about Florial as a person, but it's a business. And unfortunately, that's how things work. Bellinger at first base for the Yankees. Mac Miles, probably not. I know his market is kind of dead, but he has a qualifying offer, and I think somebody will still give him $130 million, and the Yankees are not going to be that team. Trek Reviewer, do you think a stand trade is possible? I do not think DJ will be the starting third baseman for the whole season. So to answer the first part of your question, I do not think a stand trade is possible right now. I don't think it's going to be possible until you're in the last year or maybe the second year of a contract. And then for the DJ, and also he has a no trade clause. So he has to approve a trade, and that's going to be difficult. I do not. And then to answer your second part, I don't think LeMahieu will be the starter all year either, but I will say this. LeMahieu looked really good in the second half. I think the Yankees were encouraged by that. Defensively, he is really good at third base. The question I have is, are you going to rely on a guy entering his age 36 season? That's the question I have. At third base, he had +3 defensive runs saved and +3 outs above average. The year before, +7 defensive runs saved and +4 outs above average. He's a strong defender at third base. He had a 101 WRC plus. He, has had, he's shown that he has it in him sometimes to still really hit. And in the second half, he really started driving baseball. Maybe he just needed to get familiarized after that toe injury. But I don't think you can rely on him to be, a reliable everyday guy throughout the entire season because of injuries. And I think they're going to be prepared for that. I think that's part of the reason why they traded for Jorbit Vivas. I think that's part of the reason why they still have Peraza on the team. And maybe they explore the situation at the deadline. We're done with back issues. Scariest to me. I think his back issues are definitely concerning. They're definitely scary. I'm not going to sit here and say that he is a sure thing. I hope that is not the impression I've given you guys about how I view Verdon. But I'm just talking about him as a talent. I think him as a talent is still there. It's just injuries. Belly is not worth $20 million a year. Stay far away from him. Eric Huffman, I agree. I don't think the New York Yankees should go out and, and bring him back. I don't, or not bring him back, but spend $20+ million on him. So yeah, I personally believe that the New York Yankees are not going to sign Cody Bellinger, and I don't have a reason to believe they will. And Jack Curry kind of shot that down anyways. Yankees, Yamamoto might prefer the Yankees, why play with a team that's another Japanese stud in Otani? Again, he did not. He was very much the report from Joe Sherman regarding that was very much like, hey, the New York Yankees, not the New York Yankees, excuse me, my client is willing to play with, other Japanese players. So I personally believe that, he's open to playing with Ohtani, and I don't see reports that indicate otherwise. And I'm going to continue hammering that point home. Dodgers have a tougher roads out of the NL than the Yankees do out of getting the AL next season. I agree. You're going to have to run into the Braves, who are still, in my opinion, the currently the best constructed team in the National League. You have the Phillies in there. You have, the Diamondbacks obviously won the pennant. Do I think they're as good as the Dodgers? No. You have a team, the Padres, I don't know how good they're going to be, but I think the fact you have to go through a team like the Braves, that the Phillies are still involved in that mix, that certainly hurts. It's very top heavy. I think the AL is a little bit deeper and it has a little more, a lot more contenders. But I think the New York Yankees are certainly in a good position to get out of the AL, considering, they're in a good spot. Like a lot of AL teams are a little bit weaker. I think Volpe in that lineup will make Volpe better. I think you mean Soto in that lineup will make Volpe better. But yes, I full-heartedly agree. I am very confident that that Volpe will be a better player next season. Soto will get Harper years. I think so. I think we're seeing like a 13, 14-year deal. I think we might even see a 15-year deal. It was reported that the Dodgers met with Yamamoto today. Yep, that is true. Jungle Lee signing with the Giants is such a weird move. They suck, and that addition almost means nothing but wasted money. They can't win now. He's a young player. He can get better. They were roughly an average team last year. He might be even better than that. We'll wait and see. Martino also said that, they have never been the Mets have never been the favorites for Yamamoto. So I actually think that's pretty crazy. That's pretty good for the Yankees. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Is there a way we can get a bullpen arm that's not in the organization? Absolutely. We just acquired Victor Gonzalez, Simon to go. They seem interested in Jordan Hicks. They've apparently showed some interest in Robert Stevenson. I think that Keenan Middleton coming back is not out of the realm of possibility. Perhaps we see them delve into finding like a depth on the market. I don't know. But they certainly are in the market of finding pitching, and maybe they'll find a bullpen arm in free agency or through the trade market, the same way they did with Victor Gonzalez. I expect Volpe's doubles to rise and his home runs to take down a notch. $40 will be my expectation. I think 40-plus doubles is crazy. It's a lot of doubles. But I do think we'll see maybe 18 home runs and a few more doubles, more contact, more OBP, and I think that would be a great addition for him. The Yankees are still waiting. The Mets are still waiting to hear back from Yamamoto after the meeting in Japan, and I kind of have a feeling the Dodgers won't be as aggressive as the Yankees for Yamamoto after getting Ohtani. I think the Yankees and Dodgers are both heavily in pursuit of Yamamoto, and I think the Dodgers really want Yamamoto because they really want pitching, but I think the Yankees are that team where it's like, we will do whatever it takes to get a guy, and I think that that's really going to help them in this race. Trevor Alley goes, and to add on to your point, Yamamoto has won 3 straight Sarah Moore Awards, which is the MPB Cy Young, and he's only 25 years old. Correct. He is that guy, folks. He is that guy. He is an ace, and I think he can come out here and be one of the 10 or 5 or maybe even 3 best pitchers in all of baseball. What is the significance of Yamamoto being in LA? He's in LA because that's where he is staying while he's in the US, because it's the closest to Japan. I think that makes a ton of sense. Volpe could not hit my changeup, but hey, nobody does. That is correct, Drew Thorpe. He had like a 60% whiff rate. If, of course, that is Drew Thorpe, which it's definitely not. When Ohtani pitches in 2025, and if Yamamoto signed with the Dodgers, that's a number 1 to 2 pitchers, that's a 2-headed monster. Yeah, that is a special, scary rotation. We'll wait and see, but the way I look at it is the New York Yankees are going to be in a position to get Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and we'll have to wait and see, who ends up getting him, right? Like, I think it'll be the Yankees. I think the Dodgers are still going to be in there, but we'll see. Bauer netted us 2 prospects. You mean Jake Bauers, of course, but he did net us Jake Avila, who I really do like for the organization. I think he can be a solid prospect, but we'll wait and see on that front. Fleer was waived and nobody claimed him. Yeah, I think that's kind of the nail in the coffin for him. By the way, if anybody had questions I skipped over earlier when I saw that Martino thing, please re-ask the question if you'd like to have it re-asked. If you want to pivot to a different question, that's fine. But don't be afraid to re-ask questions so that, they get them all answered. My goal is to answer as many questions as possible. Stan will hit 30-plus home runs this year. I have no doubt. I mean, even last year, he wasn't great and he hit nearly 30. So, I don't doubt that he'll hit a lot of home runs. The question I have is, what is the OBP going to look like? And that's going to be contingent on that batting average. I need the batting average to look really good. I need the batting average to look, in that 260, 270 range where it usually is. I'll even take 240 to 250 because of his ability to work walks, because he's such a terrifying figure. And he hits the ball really, really, really hard. So, if you can get a 120 WRC plus out of him, that's a massive success. But I don't know if we're going to get that. Were you able to ask Soto any questions while you were there? You're so lucky, Wiz. I wish I was there, Ryan. Hope you had fun, my man. I didn't get to ask many questions. I obviously clarified that. I am very much lucky. I'm very blessed. I've tried to work my tail off to get to that point. And I'm not big time, right? Like there are plenty of writers that are more more skilled, more experienced, have accomplished more, have written better pieces. Not just saying all time. I mean, like right now, they're like I can list off plenty of writers. The list goes on and on and on. I'm just hoping I keep getting better. I agree on Florial. Guys like him become Dallas Garcia because they're so overlooked. I don't know about that. I would say, there is a cautious tale, and that's Adolis Garcia, but he's an exception for a reason. Like, he is the exception. He is not the norm. I think Esteban Florial will be in the Yankee organization until his contract expires for free agency. I think he's someone who might keep getting DFA by the Yankees and nobody picks him up. I think if he gets DFA this time, somebody might pick him up, but we'll wait and see. Imagine a 40 home run season from Judge, Soto, and Big G. Imagine those three guys. Those three guys give you big years. Those guys could be special. Those guys could be absolutely special together. I agree, Aaron, but the Yankees could have traded Cabrera before last season for 2 prospects. They got Bowers for 2. They got 2 for Bowers, and they could have gotten same for Frazier and Duhar, etc. They need to build value. Look, they got value out of that. Obviously, they've held on to guys, and sometimes they haven't worked out. But I wasn't looking to trade Cabrera after last year. I'm not upset that they didn't. It is what it is. It happens. Stuff like that happens. Don't pick up guys after completing their 40-man after spring training. You just saw LA go 2 guys because it's stacked 40-man. Yes, but like the Oakland Athletics, the Kansas City Royals, the Cincinnati Reds, like teams that were like entering the season with weaker rosters. There are a lot of teams. The Colorado Rockies, right? There are a lot of teams. I'm going to remove the Reds from that group because they finished above 500. But the A's, Royals, Rockies, me and tell me they couldn't pick them up. They definitely could have. But wait and see. Maybe that there is truth to the timing of it. Made it a little bit weird. But I do wholeheartedly believe that the New York Yankees are not really in a bad spot in terms of like, hey, they're not really looking to give Florial playing time. I think it's a good thing that they don't have to rely on him for 2024. When you have a shit year, you have to build younger assets. Yeah, when you have a shit year, you have to delve through the farm a little bit, and hopefully they keep doing that. There's MPBF Stuff Plus. If not, do you know how to calculate Stuff Plus from MPB pitchers? We do not have StatCast and TrackMan data, so we cannot do that for MPB pitches. What I do know is that, in the World Baseball Classic, everything in Yamamoto's profile played really well. His curveball has a bunch of movement. Soros from The Athletic did an unbelievable article on Yoshinobu Yamamoto's stuff. You guys should go check that out. It's amazing. I can't link it, obviously, right now because there's nowhere to pop up the link. But make sure you guys check out The Athletic and check out Soros's piece on that. That is, I look up to him a ton. He is somebody that, I think is the smartest guy on the app, arguably. So definitely a guy you want to check out. And yeah, please check that out. Judge is a lock for 50 home runs with 140 games. I agree, man. I 100% agree. 100%. I think Judge is a 50 home run lock with 130 plus games. All the teams in on Imanaga are teams in on Yamamoto except us. Translation, everybody knows we're getting him and they're pivoting. Ryan Beck, which, by the way, I love Ryan Beck. Ryan Beck is one of my favorite commenters, one of my favorite viewers, just a great dude to talk ball with. This is evil empire shit. I love it. I want to think like this. I'm going to think like this because I'm going to be delusional. Moving on a little bit. Yamamoto gave a PR correct response. He wouldn't mind playing with other Japanese players. Not saying he wants to. 2 different things. I agree. I'm not saying he actively, he'll say, I want to play with a team only with with Japanese players. But with that being said, I personally believe that the New York Yankees are in a spot where, I think the New York Yankees are in a spot where they, I think are the team that intrigues Yamamoto at least as much as anybody else, if not more. But I don't know what he feels about Yamamoto, what he feels about the Dodgers, because I know he was a fan. So I'm just a little curious. That's all. Can we see Jorbit Vivas, the second baseman, into 2025? Not certain they will retain Glaber. Could see him as being a fine player. Yeah, I'm going to say the Yankees are not going to bring back Torres after 2024. I don't think they're going to have the financials for it. And they're going to be focused on a Soto extension. Vivas can be good. Vivas can be really good. I actually like the addition. I think he does a lot of things that the Yankees, could develop well. Or he does a lot of things poorly that the Yankees can develop. His swing looks like he can generate a lot of power. So, I'm actually really excited to see, if he's a guy that the New York Yankees, he's a guy the New York Yankees can develop. He has really good ability to pull the ball in the air. He has great contact skills. I believe he was the 10th. He had the 10th lowest strikeout rate amongst all minor leaguers with at least 450 plate appearances, or maybe it was 500. My memory's a little bit off on that. He finished with some pretty decent power numbers, given the fact he's a contact-heavy guy. He makes excellent swing decisions. A buddy of mine, Cardinals Reek on Twitter, posted some, data on Vivas. 24.6% out of zone swing rate. That's elite. and then a 70+% zone swing rate. That's also elite. So that means he's aggressive in zone. He doesn't swing a lot of pitches out of the zone. When you're making the right swing decisions, that kind of opens a little more room for you to add some power, maybe adds, if he swings and misses a little bit more, that's fine. The speed, he wasn't a base stealer. He only stole about 2 bases last season, and then he stole 25 and 30 attempts this year. The Yankees, could definitely use his skill set. Defensively, I know Baseball Prospectus' his defensive numbers, because it's minor league data, is going to be a little bit faulty, but he had like 7.4 defensive runs prevented on there between AA and AAA, so you could get a guy who plays really good defense at second, who can give you that left-handed swing. The comparison I would use here, and I know this is a little bit of like an insane one, but, I would say you're looking at a Rougned Odor with good swing decisions. And, kind of if you had Rougned Odor and he made better swing decisions, because Rougned Odor chases way too much, right? If Rougned Odor was a better swing decision maker, is he more of like a 100 WRC plus hitter? And if you're getting a 100 WRC plus hitter with solid defense and speed, if that's what Vivas is, that's a roaring success for second base, because you can put that towards the bottom of your lineup and he helps you against right-handed pitching, and we're talking prospects here. Prospects, you can't say that the median outcomes are being superstars, but I do think this is a guy who profiles very similar to maybe a guy like Oswaldo Cabrera, with a little more of that raw contact and good swing decisions that makes you a little bit more certain about his offensive skill set. Maybe he needs to add a little bit more game power, but again, I really like what he brings to the table, and I love the fact that the New York Yankees brought him in, and, it's that Steve Trace when you go, but Vivas, I think, is a slightly better prospect, and he's also younger. Braden Bino 2 times Barnes. How confident are you that the Yankees get Yamamoto? First off, if I pronounce your name incorrectly, please let me know and correct me. And secondly, I think it's Brandon. I think I just missed over the end. And I will say I am 40% confident. 40%. Now, I know that might sound confident, but here's what I want you guys to take into account here. That's 40% versus a couple of things, right? Like, I would say the Dodgers are 40% and the Mets are 20%. That's what I would say. Or maybe we'll go 35% Yankees, 35% Dodgers, 20% Mets, and then we'll give it to the rest to the field. But I think the Yankees are up there with the Dodgers. I think it's going to come down to the Yankees and the Dodgers. Uncle Ted, which is just an unbelievable name and profile picture combination. Good Lord. Garrett Braxton for Gleyber Torres. There's no way the Marlins would do that. Braxton Garrett has multiple years of control. If the Yankees could pull that off, that would be sick, but I think that there's too many years of control for Garrett. The price tag on Torres is $50 million. The Marlins are historically a cheaper franchise. I don't think this is a fit that makes sense for both parties. Also, Matt Blake can fix Shitaro Fujinami. That's my hot take. I'm going to look at Fujinami, what he did with the Orioles. His stuff is obviously phenomenal. He got a lot better as a reliever. He didn't really do at all any good as a starting pitcher. Finished the year with a 7-something ERA. With the Orioles, strikeouts went up, walks went down, ERA was still bad. Let me see if there was anything that got better down the stretch. Kind of got shelled down the stretch. He got hit hard. When he first came over to Baltimore, things were looking good. Like, up until that point, it was a 3.86. It was a 3.76 ERA before he got roughed up in the Houston series. Going to take another look at just if there are any changes in the pitch repertoire. No, everything kind of stayed pretty consistent. Anything in terms of swing and miss, swing and strike rate stayed consistent. Chase rate got better. Zone rate, roughly the same. First pitch strike percentage a little bit higher. It's just the fastball is very dead zone. Like, I'm going to go to pitching summary right now, which, by the way, shout out Tom. I think it's TJ Stats. He's the guy who does this. His pitch, it's a Patreon, but these are 2 very useful tools in that regard. Looking at Fujinami here, though, he is just fastball profile is just not very good. He had 14 inches of induced vertical break. That pitch is just it's not gonna get a lot of whiffs. It did get a decent amount, but not enough. Splitter's a really good pitch. Splitter got a lot of whiffs, but got hit hard. He's just not a pitcher who has a lot going for him in terms of success, right? With his fastball. Maybe he's a sinker guy, but his 4-seam fastball just isn't good enough. That's my take on it. Judge's power is too easy, has an unfair amount of leverage in his swing. He is a generational hitter. I truly believe this. I agree at Drew, we could have traded prospects when he had value, but Cashman likes his prospects. Look, he held on and it didn't work. And sometimes that happens. That's the risk you take in this. But yeah, Troy Johnston and Paul McIntosh were steals that are put on waivers by the Marlins. So here's the thing. When you're put on waivers, and especially we're talking about an organization that recently hired Peter Bendix, it's likely it's not a guy that you want to pick up and rely upon. It's a guy that you pick up, you stash maybe on your 40-man, but I don't know if the Yankees, should be stashing that on their 40-man over guys like Jorbit Vivas or pitchers. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here and say, I'm going to sit here and say that the New York Yankees are not going to make claims on either of them. Two, Tommy Johns. Ohtani's pitching again. I believe he will. I believe that Shohei Ohtani will pitch again. Nathan Eovaldi was a two-time TJS guy, and he's still back. So, I do believe that we'll see. I do believe that we'll see a guy like, I think we'll see Ohtani get back on the mound again. Did anybody watch the Aaron Jones interview where he said Yoshinobu Yamamoto doesn't lift weights? I did not watch that. So that's actually an interesting thing. I'm going to watch that for sure. Soto walks at the end of the year. Bet. I don't think it's going to happen personally. Let's go Yankees. I think, I think the New York Yankees are going to get Yamamoto. I want everybody here to just get hype. I want everybody to be freaking hype. I want everybody to be freaking hype about this. What does this mean for the luxury tax? Like, what happens if they actually go over the luxury tax? Do they have to lose players, or what happens? They just keep giving up more money. Like, it costs more to go over the luxury tax as the year. There's no player loss, so don't worry about it. Shohei Ohtani looking at Mookie Betts in the Dodgers dugout, laughing, thinking about how Mookie got him out of trouble with a double play in the World Baseball Classic Championship game. Yeah, no. That'll certainly be a topic of conversation. I mean, he did strike out his teammate Mike Trout to win it all. So, yeah. I think the Angels could be a dark horse for Bellinger, especially considering for the contract he's asking for. Maybe. I don't know if they're that interested, but like that would be an Angels thing to do. Go give Cody Bellinger a big contract. That is certainly an Angels thing. I need Stanton to drive in guys from a 5 or 6 hole on base. Not as big of a deal with the new lineup. I just think it's a matter of you can't have a 280 on base. It's got to be like a 330 with the power he has. And yeah, I think that I think that'll be that'll be fine. 330 on base, slug, give me the slugging, isolated power numbers you did last year, and I'll be happy with that. Ohtani crying after realizing Mookie will be that type of hitter on the team in the playoffs. I saw a tweet where it was like, what is the only thing stopping the Dodgers who can stop them? And it's the playoffs, which I think is pretty funny. What's your thoughts on the Soto extension quote about, who to call? Do you really think he means it's a possibility? It's not a possibility. That's the fact that it's a Boris client and he's going to end up going out and getting an unbelievable amount of money. And that's how I feel about that situation. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully that, the New York Yankees are able to get something done preseason, but I just doubt that they will. And I think it'll be an end of season thing, kind of like the Judge thing. Timothy goes, wow, at Martino SNY spitting facts on Mets hot stove. Yeah, I saw that tweet, but I can't confirm that that was on video. Until I see it on camera, I don't buy all of it, right? Like, that's how I feel about any news. You think he's going out of the realm of possibility for Judge or Soto to move first base to make room for Spencer Jones in the outfield? I think you could see a guy like Ben Rice there. You guys have recognized the possibility of, maybe a guy like, Stanton not being here next year. I'm also presuming that Jones is going to start the year in the outfield in 2025. It's possible, but he's not a sure thing. I do think the Yankees are going to have some questions to ask about their outfield. I think these are good questions that they're going to have to ask. I think they might prepare somebody to play first, but it shouldn't be Jones. Jones is probably the best defensive center field option they have in the organization, which I know is a hot take, but that's how I feel. The numbers are really good out there. So Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto have played in the same league since 2017, so there could be a chance for them to play in LA together. Yeah, they have. So, I don't know if that's enough of a variable to say like that's where Yamamoto wants to play, but I certainly don't think that it's gonna push the. I don't think Yamamoto is against playing with Yamamoto. I don't think Yamamoto's against playing with Ohtani. That's really my whole thing here. Credits to Joey the Jet on X. Yeah, that tweet is exactly what I saw, and that's why I'm trying to see and look for video content. I remember Voya had to blow off the left field wall while he was like a right field pull hitter. You just don't see that. Well, I mean, there are good players who have flashed a lot of talent and are not actually good players. And I know that's kind of a shitty thing to say, but yeah. Keep up the good work. Your answers are great, Ryan. I appreciate you a ton. I really do. I really appreciate you a lot, man. And I appreciate you a lot, Nettie. You've been great. You've been asking really good questions. Lead San Francisco Giants probably means beta the Padres. My assumption. That would actually be a nice fit for them. They should have kept Trent Grisham though, probably. Did they use the MLB balls in the WBC? Yes, they used the rolling baseballs, which are the Major League Baseballs. Extending my last question, if they get Yamamoto, they will be over the tax. Like, will they be able to sign Soto long-term? Could you explain the payroll and how that could affect Soto in the extension? Yeah, so let me talk about this. So the New York Yankees can extend Juan Soto or at least pay, or let's say re-sign. Let's say the Yankees can give Soto a big contract. Let's use that general term here so that I'm not specifically talking about an extension or just re-signing. I'm not saying it's going to be either or. Let's just say giving him a big contract. The Yankees can give Juan Soto a big contract and give Yamamoto a big contract for two reasons. Number one, they have a lot of young talent coming up. Number two, a lot of their big contracts that you look as the long-term ones are going to start becoming short-term ones. Stanton's got 4 years left. LeMahieu's got 3 years left. Hicks has 2 years left. I know that Hicks isn't here, but you still have to pay his contract. Rizzo has 1 year left. So you have Rizzo, then LeMahieu. Then you have, you have Rizzo, Hicks, then LeMahieu. That's 20, 10, 15, all coming off the books just in terms of those contracts. You have obviously Torres' money coming off the books this year. That's $50 million. Maybe you move some more arbitration eligible guys. That's also a possibility. Looking at Stanton, that's year 4. If you give a Yamamoto a contract, you can maybe give him an opt-out. Maybe he opts out, and then you have to kind of reset there. Cole is going to be here for the long run. I'm not going to start counting down the Cole years yet. Rodon's 5 years. So you have kind of that gap after the Stanton. So after the Stanton year, again, it's Rizzo, Hicks, LeMahieu, Stanton, then Rodon. So over 5 seasons, you have one big contract coming off the books each year. So I think that's the big thing here. Oh, we got Sam here. 70-bag season from Daddy Stanton. I'm delusional. Guys, Sam is the greatest I've ever seen. Sam is my guy running the socials. Sam is that guy. Look, guys, we're posting a lot of stuff, and Sam's a big part of that. And Sam's my guy. But, I would love to see Stanton just fucking go all out and hit 70 home runs. That'd be special. I need Stanton to go out and start crushing. I would say they need to start crushing. I need him to start crushing. I need it. Why isn't there anything about the Yankees going after Snell? Because I don't think they're interested. He's a 30-year-old pitcher. Right? Like the Yankees, do they want to send another 30-year-old pitcher to a long-term extension? That seems a little bit crazy. Ryan appears to have an expertise in Yankee baseball and the sport in general. This is most impressive. Don Johnson, those are kind words. I appreciate you, man. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I would say I'm a passionate Yankee fan who has access to Fangraphs. Let's be honest. If Florial looked marketable like Bowers maybe would have been here the whole year, it's not about looking marketable. It's about, do you play well in the Yankees? Do you have favorable projections? Do you feel, is this a guy that, your skill set should progress well to the major leagues? And they currently don't feel that way. Phone dying. That sucks. Hey, Drew, I appreciate you stopping by. You got this Drake Degrassi vibe to you, not a bad thing. G Money 888. I love that. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. I don't know if that's a good thing, actually. Could be fucking dissing me. Ryan Beck, thanks, buddy. Love the channel. I love you too, bro. You're my guy. How does Vivas rank against Sweeney offensively versus defensively? So Sweeney's a shortstop. That gives him more defensive value, or at least a higher defensive ceiling. And I think he's pretty solid there. And Vivas is not a shortstop, so he has the higher defensive ceiling. But I would say Vivas is, offensively probably a little bit better. Just a little bit, makes better swing decisions. I think they're very similar prospects, and Vivas has a little bit more room to grow because he's a little bit younger. And that's why the Yankees made the switch. Defensively, maybe Vivas is a better second base defender. Maybe, maybe he's a better third base defender. I don't know how Sweeney's going to translate to those two positions, but it looked like the issue that I really felt like was happening here was that the New York Yankees were struggling to find shortstop reps for him. It's kind of situation. Also, I think I'm starting to get that Dake Degrassi vibe. I could see the look. But yeah, to answer the question, I think they're very similar prospects, and I think that the Yankees made the swap because they knew they can get Gonzalez in the deal, and he's going to really help their bullpen. Yankees like these small, speedy guys that sneaky pop in the minors. Yeah, because they develop power really, really, really well. And so, what would be worse for the Blue Jays? Overpay Cody Bellinger or sign slow noodles like Brantley or Peralta? I would say Peralta or Brantley, because even if you overpay Bellinger, I mean, it depends. Like, is it going to limit them from doing things? If it's not, then that's fine. If they win a World Series, do you really care? That's the type of questions you have to really ask yourself here. But I guess you would say, yeah, you'd rather have, 1 year deal and financial flexibility. That's a tough question. It really is. I'm not sure. I want people to answer that. Ryan Beck, how's your boy Pete? Don't know who Pete is, but hope Pete's doing well, Patrick. Snell can go longer than 5. Yeah, he can't really go longer than 5. What's the plan B if this doesn't fall due? J_T Blue jumps. I'm assuming you're talking about Yamamoto. My plan B? There is no plan B. We're signing Yamamoto. That's my arrogant answer. I don't really know if there's a plan B. Never mind, you answered it. Now I'm going to answer your question. Dude, I'll answer any and all questions as many times as possible. Don't worry about it. Can you tell us about the pitcher we got today? I believe he was in the Red Sox AAA organization last year. Yeah, so it's Odenier Mosqueda. who he has a good sinker, 110 stuff plus on that. The curveball's pretty solid, but four-seamer's not very good. Changeup isn't very good. Got some swings and misses. The command wasn't great, but, the command has never really been good. And, in AAA, the automated ball strike system isn't great. He is kind of a long relief lefty. I think he can be a guy the Yankees develop a little bit. But, he's depth. Can't be mad at depth, right? Like, that's how I view it. He's depth. That's what the Yankees are getting here. And left-handed depth. Not sure what you're getting at, but NYY has no issue with Dominicans. Yeah, it's not an issue with Dominicans. I heard Soto jerseys are all sold out. Do you think there'll be seats left now at the stadium? How hard will it be to get seats? It'll be tough to get seats for opening day or anything like that, which is good. This is why you need to go get Yamamoto if you're the Yankees, because you're going to be box office. Everybody's going to be watching. Nobody's going to not watch. Juan Soto was OD emotional speaking about playing for the Yankees in Spanish. I know mad people missed it, but that's definitely very emotional for Dominicans for real. Yeah, I was there. I can tell you the way that he spoke in Spanish about playing for the Yankees was so candid. It was so honest. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to hear. I think he said it feels different to wear a Yankee hat, which is in a good way. GF, no, I do not have a girlfriend because I will never be happy. I'm joking. Not about the girlfriend thing. I do not have a girlfriend. JB is so glad that we have Soto on our team. We definitely need Yamamoto to help him though. JB, I smile every day knowing that he's on my baseball team. Do you think the Yankees can get Frankie Montas for depth even if they get Yamamoto? Yes, I think they can. Will they? I don't know. Phenom Young, Roshi Sasaki, rumors request to be posted for MLB free agency. Luis Mestas, I saw that. And I think that, it's possibly gets posted next year, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Montas wrongly will be okay. I think it's just a swingman role. I actually like Shamanaya for this. You guys should look up Shamanaya's numbers after May 30th when he added a sweeper. They're pretty good. I'm doing an article on that, so don't look too hard. I'll get you guys the information. My internet crashed. My bad. Don't even worry about it, my man. You're good. You're here. I'm answering all questions still. Higgy interview on foul territory was great. I got to go watch that. I did not watch it. I will. Musuna was the same way, with not lifting weights. That's curious. Hey, I'm not an expert on health and fitness, so I'm not gonna say that's great or bad, but I will say that's their thing and it's worked for them. I'm hyped for Yamamoto. I am too. I want him so bad. Soto sounds very cool with the extension. He's open to just kind of doing whatever, I guess. I think Boris is going to be the guy who controls those conversations, and rightfully so. He's the agent. But we'll wait and see if the New York Yankees are able to get that momentum going with an extension. I don't think they will though. Moto to the Yankees, give him $350 million. Give him all the bucks. Give him the big. Give him the trunk. Give him the brink trucks. Give him everything. Give him the brink trunks. Right, brink trucks right now. Give him everything he needs, everything he wants. That's my view on it. Soto asked his agent to start an extension contract. He did not. I don't think he did. Unless he did previously at some point with the Nationals. You guys can talk about that. Basically, Adam Jones said Yoshinobu Yamamoto focuses on flexibility, kind of like Japan, kind of like Tom Brady, and throws around a Nerf ball a lot. They were teammates in Japan for 2 years. That's super cool. That's awesome. I was not aware, and I'm kind of cool about it. I'm kind of happy with that. Is Jared Serrano blocked by anybody? He's in high A, so you wouldn't say he's blocked by anybody. We'll wait and see if he gets to make it to the show and get through the higher levels of the minor leagues. I asked this earlier, but you had to skip over it because Andy Martino, so no worries. But my question was, who do you like more, Jorbit Vivas or Caleb Durbin? I think Caleb Durbin has a really good offensive profile. I think his skill set is a little more refined. I think Vivas has a little more raw power and game power, but I think they're relatively even prospects. I think prospect rankings would have Vivas ahead of Durbin. And I think that's a fine thing to say, but personally, I think they're relatively even hitters. Defensively, maybe Vivas is a better infield defender, but yeah, I wouldn't sit here and say that one is definitively better than the other, but I think Pipeline of America would say that one is definitely definitively better than the other. So, there's that. I don't want to sit here and talk down on Durbin. Durbin was great for us in podcasts, and he did really well in the AFL and AA. So I'm actually really excited to see how he plays this year, but I think this year will tell us if the Durbin breakout was legit. I think that there are people who are just cautiously kind of like, waiting to see how he plays next year. That's the right way to look at it, but I'll be aggressive and say they're on very even footing. Now, Vivas is younger, so that helps him a little bit. Dominguez in left, Jones in center, Judge Soto right field, DH, Stanton in sports jacket, boring. I've commented this before, but yeah, this is probably the game plan. Soto will stay with the Yanks after listening to his interviews today. His dad is a big Yankees fan. I think his family will be in his ear like, dude, shit, this would be a great opportunity for you. And then he'll be like, hey, Boris, get me the money. And that's how it's going to go. Who do you think is the opening day catcher? I think it's Trevino, but I think Wells will get the most playing time. SNY is rerunning Mets Hot Stove at 10 p.m., so we will be seated. Yes, we shall. 10:30. We need a closer. Please, please, please. No, we don't. So stop talking down on my guy, Clay Holmes. Please, please, please. He's a great pitcher. Clay Holmes is an excellent relief pitcher. I'm sorry. Could Clark Schmidt repeat the season he had last year, get even better? I think he can get better. I definitely do. I definitely think he can get better. Does Drake wearing the Ohtani jersey think he was coming to Toronto mean that the Blue Jays got cursed? Doesn't mean Ohtani is cursed because Drake wore an Ohtani jersey. That's a good fucking question. Is he cursed or were the Blue Jays cursed? I don't know. Carlos goes, hi, bestie. What's good, Carlos? My guy right here. Hope you're doing well. He was taking a shot by former co-host Simonetti. Oh, my God. Snell is the most mid-elite pitcher ever. He's probably very good, but still, yeah, I'm not giving him that money. He apparently wants like 200 mil. I'm not giving him 200 mil. Drake is a curse in general. Yeah. If Yamamoto signs with the Yankees, that'll be so hype. Kyle Roth, I will cry. How many games did we lose because of a lack of a good closer? Not many. We were our bullpen had the best ERA in baseball. Lost a lot of games when our starting pitching didn't go deep enough into games and our offense couldn't rake. That's why. Ryan Beck wasn't taking a shot. I just missed you guys together. That's all. Oh, it's cute. Can you explain what WAR is, please? Wins above replacement. WAR WAR. That's basically, it takes into account offense, defense, and base running, and it kind of gives us a number and says, all right, compared to the replacement level player, compared to the guy you could just call it from AAA, that's how much better you are than that player. It's like a total value metric. While these players getting the bag, would it make sense to get Gleyber an extension during the season? If not, trade him somebody with controllable years. For someone with controllable years, I think the Yankees are going to keep him and let him walk in free agency. I think that's a fine call because you want to go out and win as many games as possible. You're not a rebuilding team. Ohtani's real ploy, defer his pay or to bring on Yoshin Sasaki. Colonel Frank, I think he just wants help. He wants the Dodgers to contend for years to come. Who was the next Ben Rice in the org? Ben is starting to get some attention, so I want to know who's next. It's a good question. Christopher Familia. I'll say he's my pick. Yeah, I'll say he's my pick. I would give him $800 million for 8 years. I don't know who this is talking about Bucks all night, but nobody I would give that much money to. Clay Holmes is not excellent. Clay Holmes, since you joined the New York Yankees, we're going to go, so I think it was July 2021. We're just going to go since Clay Holmes has joined the Yankees. That's what we're going to look at. And what has he done since joining the New York Yankees? We're going to look at that, and unfortunately I have to do that because the people have doubted the great Clay Holmes, and that's fine. It happens. Sometimes people need to be reminded of greatness, and Clay Holmes is certainly the definition of greatness. We're spoiled by Mo, guys. Spoiled. 2.50 ERA over 154.2 innings pitched. 4.04 win probability added. 79 shutdowns to 25 meltdowns. StatCast, 2.3% barrel rate. Only 9 barrels given out in his entire career with the Yankees. 63 FIP minus 2.63 FIP, 2.55 Sierra, 69.1% ground ball rate. Come on, enough. Is it normal for rookies to struggle as much as Volpe but still turn to stars? It's happened before. I don't know if you're gonna say it's normal, but it's happened before. So I would say that he's a defensively very good player. It's a matter of can he hit? Can he hit enough to be a star? He's hit enough, he's a good enough defender that he's a solid baseball player as currently constructed. But if he can hit, he can become a star. What about Yuki Matsui? I think he's going to be a Cardinal. I think his price tag's a little too pricey for the Yankees. And I'm a little concerned that he struggled in WBC to kind of grip the baseball. Did you see the Bowden's prediction of Yamamoto to the Yankees for 9 years, $304 million? Yes, I did. And I think that that's a reasonable number. If Yoshinobu Yamamoto goes to the A's, I'd laugh my ass off. If he goes to the A's, I'll drown myself. That's what I'll do. That's how confident. The A's have already made its fan base forever with Italian Americans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Venezuelans, Cubans, and Mexicans, but it's recently lacking in Japan. Yamamoto can fix that. Yeah. The Yankees can get more into the, the Asian market and especially, specifically into the Japanese market. Masahiro Tanaka was a roaring success in New York, and he was box office when he was very good. So I'm very excited to see if we can do that. If we can, kind of replicate that, and maybe to a higher extent. Zach G, Devin Williams. He's not getting traded probably right now, and not to the New York Yankees. How does Dominguez fit in the outfield situation? Does he play this year? Is he in the minors again for this year? Mass Evarts. It depends on how Verdugo plays. It depends on how Grisham plays. It depends on how Stanton plays. It depends on how healthy all those guys are. You don't need him to come up this year, which I think is a big thing. But I do think he could factor into this team. I think he can really help this team. Now, if they don't need the help, they're not going to call him up. But if they do need the help, they will. It depends on health. It depends on performance from guys that are currently on the roster like Verdugo and like Stanton. I don't want a closer, but Hicks is an extra arm in the bullpen does intrigue me. Can't have enough dudes to throw 100 miles an hour with those kinds of elite strikeout numbers coming out of the bullpen. I agree. Hicks would be a great addition, and I don't think he would cost a crap ton. There's been a couple moves but wasn't there supposed to be more after Ohtani? Yes, but I think Yamamoto's holding out the market a little bit because I think if you're Montgomery, wait until Yamamoto signs and then go get everybody who's pivoting for Yamamoto to sign you and kind of drive up your market. I think the Yankees should still bring in Frankie Montas for depth. Can never have enough. Michael Harvin, I agree. That's a great idea. Carlos goes, what's your ideal offer for Yamamoto? And you think we can lock both him and Soto up? We will, but I wonder what's your thought on that. Okay, Carlos. So my offer for Yamamoto, my final offer, I guess the offer I think that will win Yamamoto's services. Say $280 million over 9 years. Give him a year 4 opt-out, and opt-out, after year 4. To clarify, let him hit the free agent market again if he wants to. Maybe a mutual option. I don't know. And I think they can lock both of these players up. They are the New York Yankees. They are box office. These two teams can make enough money to do it. I'm aware that the Japanese people do like the Yankees, especially after players like Matsui and Tanaka, but current Japanese players still prefer the West Coast Dodgers. I think Yamamoto can help fix that. Let me explain one thing. The Yankees are the biggest brand in the world. The Yankees are the most iconic brand in all of baseball. They are the most popular team in Japan because of it, because they're more iconic than everybody else. But as you mentioned, there is a West Coast bias at sometimes, and maybe the Yankees can figure out a way to kind of recapture that with Yamamoto. And to answer the other, answer the other part of this. No, there was no second part of that. I thought there was a second part of that question. I love Devin Williams and Taylor Scott, who was the best reliever in MLB last season. I think you mean not Trevor Scott. Tanner Scott. There we go. Yeah, those two guys would be sick, but I don't think the Yankees are getting them. I'm having this thought. The Yankees are going to try to flip Verdugo for some prospects or platoon guys. No. And I saw this comment kind of recently. Michael Harvin, yeah, the Yankees ain't flipping Verdugo. They're trying to win now. Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. Damn, Chris Amelia is the next Aaron Judge. I wouldn't say the next Aaron Judge, but Chris Amelia can mash. Let me pull up his fan graphs for you guys real quick here. He's 23 years old. Rule 5 eligible. He's going to turn 24 next June, so he's kind of in that same age range as Ben Rice. He struggled a lot in high A to open things up. Like once he got to high A, after tearing it up in single A, he was unbelievable in single A. We was 22 for most of the year, then turned 23. Through the last month of the year, so from September, let's say August 1st September, that's the sample size we're going to use here. He had a 120 WRC plus. If you expand that I'm just expanding that a little bit more because I'm going to be narrative balling here. All right. So over the course of the last 33 games played, he hit 10 home runs with a 300 average, a 381 on base percentage, a 567 slugging percentage, and most notably a 16.5% strikeout rate with a 153 WRC plus. He hits the absolute crap out of the baseball. This is a guy who can certainly be a difference maker and maybe have that Ben Rice breakout next year. But that, of course, is contingent on how his swing decisions evolve and if he can continue to kind of hammer down that good hit tool. Does he start out in Double-A next year? Maybe. I think the Yankees should try being aggressive in that regard, but we'll see. What's Clay Holmes 50-50 based on WAR since he was traded to the Yankees, and where does it rank among MLB relievers? So again, we'll pull up since July 29th of 2021. So I'll just go here. All right, update pitchers, pitching as relievers. All right, so I'm just gonna load up. It's loading up now. Don't worry. I'll answer some other questions in the meantime. Oh, wait, it loaded up. I'll get back to that question. Don't worry, Carlos. He is 7th in FWAR at 3.5. In ERA, 2.50 is 17th. In terms of win probability added, which adjusts for leverage index, basically how clutch are you? Like how good are you in terms of contributing to your team's chance of the win? He's 15th at 4.04, so he's been the 15th best reliever in baseball in terms of giving the Yankees chances to win. He's been the 7th best reliever in baseball in terms of just straight up production, not adjusting for leverage. And in terms of like predictive metrics like skill interactive ERA, 2.55, that would be the 3rd best mark. In terms of FIP, 2.63, the 7th best mark. In terms of XFIP, 2.80, the 7th best mark. This guy's elite. I'm sorry, this guy's an elite reliever. What's Volpe and Wells' projection, WRC plus predictions? I'm going to go 100 for Volpe, and I'm going to go 110 for Wells. Vivas was ranked number 10 in our system. Sweeney's ranked number 18 in the Dodgers system. Yeah, the Dodgers farm is they're more loaded than most farms, including ours. So, that's why that discrepancy exists, but, I think they're relatively even prospects. We talked about this. Do you think Henry Lane or John Cruz will begin at single A in 2024? What do you know of Dylan Jaso? So Lane and Cruz, you're almost assuming they're locks for that. They played really well in the FCL, and that would be advantageous for the Yankees to start them out in single A. So I could certainly see that. And then as for Dylan Jaso, not much information on my end on him. I know he was he's his first year in the organization. Showed off some pretty good play discipline, had some good raw power, good game power. I'm going to look and see if there's any StatCast data on his raw power and see if I can find anything on Twitter, excuse me. Dylan Jaso. He was a non-drafted free agent. That's pretty clear because there's nothing on his drafting. I'm trying to see if there's anything on his exit velocities. I don't see anything. I'm going to put EV, exit velocity. Usually on Twitter, you can find some pretty cool data from different scouts or whatever. There's nothing there on his exit velocity, so I don't know much about him, I guess. I don't know much about him, and I'm going to have to wait a little bit to look more to find him. Nettie goes, do you think the Yankees go after a closer by committee? I think they go closer by committee. I think that's what the Yankees are always going to do. That's what the Yankees have kind of done religiously, so that's why I still believe that. Do you think we could beat Houston in the playoffs in 2024? Yes, I think we could beat anybody because that's how the playoffs work. Imanaka is a consolation prize. Yeah, I would certainly throw him in as my second option or my third option. Yeah, he could help the team a lot. He is a good left-handed pitcher, and I think he can help. Now everybody wants to be a Yankee. The weather sucks. Bucks all night. Go cry me a river. Too bad. Tanner Scott. Bro, you're an animal. You should do a 24-hour stream for charity. I would love to do that. That would be something I'd be interested in. I would probably have to do it over break. Obviously, I'm still in school. Would have to handle that stuff. I also live at home with my parents, so I'd like to see my parents. And it's kind of holiday season, so we'll see on that front. I'm definitely interested in trying something like that, but would have to be something I plan out. Would have to figure out my food situation. I don't know what I would eat. Definitely figuring that out. So, I'll see. I would definitely be down for that. If there's a charity that's willing to do this, I would love to kind of talk it out and see if that's possible. And obviously, if we collected any money for that, we would send that straight to that charity. That's kind of how that works. But yeah, I would love to. I'd actually be really interested in this. So just, I would like to see how this works. I would actually love to see how that would work. I don't know the logistics of this, but, now this is actually a pretty cool idea. I would be down for this. I'm kind of talking myself into this. But we'll see. We'll definitely have to be during, the college break. So, either over the summer, that's also debatable because that would be when the Yankees are playing, but probably over the winter. So let's say the next month. Let's see if we can figure out a time to do that. Bucks all night. LA's the place to be. Too bad. Robert Stevenson. What would I give for him? 3 years, $30 million seems like what he's going to get, I think. And I would be willing to do it, but I don't know. I don't know. I think should be paying $10 million for a reliever. That's kind of where I look at it. Team should be offering Jordan Hicks anywhere between 1 to 5 years at $3.75 million AAV. He's probably going to get more than that. I think he'd probably get $7 to $8 million in this market. I think he could probably secure a $25 million deal over 3 to 4 years. I think that'd be a good offer for him. I don't know. I wonder what his money's going to look like. The reliever market is kind of juiced. Look at reliever contracts, Let's go MLB contracts, spot track. I'm going to go active contracts. We're going to look through relievers real quick and just kind of sort through these things. All positions, relievers. Also, if you guys haven't done this already, please like, comment, and subscribe as I kind of load this stuff up. So, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe and, keep the conversation going. So there are now Nick Martinez is thrown into this as a reliever. He's not a reliever, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 pitchers making at least $10 million or more for 2024, or at least had made that money going through the 2023 season. I think that something similar to the Robert Suarez contract could be in play for Stevenson, but I don't know. Maybe we see something closer to the Raciel Iglesias 4 for 58. Or Rafael Martero for or Jordan Hicks, which was 3 for 34. If I'm the Yankees, I would leverage his youth a little bit, try to do one closer to what we saw with Ronaldo Lopez, which was 3 for 30. We'll see, though. I'm not sure what his money's going to look like. So, yeah. Fernando Velez, there's a reason why the Yankees are the only MLB team in the top 20 most valuable teams in all sports. We are icon brand in baseball. If Yamamoto says no, That's on him. You win here, you're a legend. Yeah, look, I'm not going to demonize Yamamoto for saying no to the Yankees, but if he wants to be a legend, it's with the Yankees, right? Like if you want to be a legend, it's the New York Yankees, right? Like that's the place to be. That is where baseball happens. So yeah. Who will be the next closer? Is still going to be Clay Holmes. Get Yamamoto and another top flight starting pitcher and some BP help. Snell, Glasslaw, Wookie, Warhol. I think Yamamoto seals the deal for getting pitchers. Clay Holmes, even if people don't consider him elite, he's being paid like a bag of chips and he's been producing like crazy for us. I agree. He's a great pitcher. Are Soto jerseys released yet? If so, do you know where I can buy? They were released this afternoon. I don't know if they sold out though. So yeah, they're like $300 a pop though. They're crazy prices. Scott Efros could be a sneaky arm. Yeah, I think he's going to come back and be a pretty good reliever for us. I'm very excited to see what he can contribute to next season. Every time he's on the mound, he's been good, and he kind of has the profile that the Yankees like. And he's a sidearm. He's a little bit of a funky, wonky pitcher. The Bucks suck. Hey, let's be a little nice here. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is on the Bucks, and I love Baker Mayfield. He's a great quarterback. I do believe Baker Mayfield is an elite NFL quarterback. So yeah, I don't know if I actually believe that, but I love him. Hello, my Yankees fans. I'm just being honest. Be arrogant. Oh my God. Like, I see all these Yankee fans like, I don't want to, we're not going to outbid that. No. We are grown people. We are grown men. We are grown people. We're grown men and women. We're grown people. Guys, we're the New York Yankees. We're not scared of anybody. We're the New York Yankees. If he wants the Yankees, we're going to get him. We're going to get him. If he wants us and we want him, we're going to get him. Send you a DoorDash card. Don't send me anything, please. I will fund it myself. I can't. I absolutely cannot. Do we have a big chance to beat Houston in the 2024 playoffs? Absolutely. I think anybody has a big chance. So, yeah. If, God forbid, we lose out on Yamamoto, I'd allocate all my money towards Montgomery and Imanaga. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just blow all my money. I would kind of go for 1-year deals and try to do my best to give Soto every dollar and every penny to keep him in the Bronx for as long as possible. NY Underground did a 24-hour stream before. Hey, good enough for them. I'm definitely interested in doing it. But of course, looking into, how it would kind of play in with school and all that stuff. I know you've talked about it before, but what would you offer for Andrew Nardi? Now I don't think I'm as aggressive for wanting Andrew Nardi. So I would just sign a right-handed, at this point, just go get a right-handed reliever and get him for cheap and Keenan Middleton. I'm down with that. Ryan Garcia, ESM address reveal for the people to DoorDash so he never goes hungry again. I'm actually trying to lose a little bit of weight. So probably not a great idea for me to be DoorDashing like crazy. So, yeah. And also I don't want people to know where I live for obvious reasons. But yeah. Can we explain what WAR means in the numbers? I already explained it, but yeah, it's basically a total value thing. But yeah, I'll have to wait and see. I'll have to wait and see kind of how, not wait and see. Hold on. My brain's kind of all over the place. I'm thinking about Yamamoto right now. Anyways, so looking at the situation with WAR, it's basically a total value metric. It looks at offense, defense, and base running. And yeah, it's a really good number. So you use for total value. That's kind of the overall broadening. It basically says how much better are you than a player that's coming up, a random player, a random call from AAA. Probably going to start wrapping up here. Probably going to take on our final questions just so that I can, get some sleep. That's really it. I'll be streaming tomorrow, by the way. Just letting you guys know I'm streaming as much as possible because it's news time, baby, and it's go time for the New York Yankees. You don't want it, the Yankees, because it's too far from Japan. You don't know this. You don't have a report on this. Assume Grass Nuggets traded. Yankees get Yamamoto. What's your AL East standings prediction? Yankees, Orioles, Rays, Blue Jays, Red Sox. We're locking in Yamamoto. That's fine. Danny Nieba, I hope you are right, and I believe that you are going to be right. Could the Yankees give Clay Holmes an Atlanta-type extension? I don't know if they're going to extend him. I would look into it, but, the Yankees kind of do this stuff with relievers like it's nothing. So will they be inclined to pay him a lot of money? Who knows? Once we lock in Yamamoto, who else do we concentrate on? I think you kind of look at, just trying to go get pitching depth and just kind of secure your bullpen and secure your pitching staff. That's where I'm at. When Dominguez comes back and starts alongside Judge and Soto, where do you think they would rank amongst all-time trio of outfielders? I don't know where they would rank, but man, I would sit here and say it would be one of the most enjoyable experiences of my lifetime. So yeah, I would definitely be a happy camper to say the very least. But yeah. Holmes doesn't make it as a closer. Well, you're wrong. Sorry, I hate to be that guy, but you are. Last time I was this excited for Yankees was never. I'm 16 and started watching 2017. This will probably be my first Evil Empire experience. Yeah, the Yankees have not acted like the Evil Empire. Remember, after 2017, yes, they got Stanton, but they reset the luxury tax, I believe, either the year after or that offseason. So, certainly one of those things where it's like, hey, now we have an opportunity to be the Evil Empire and go out and say, yeah, we're going to get the two best players available on the market. That would be huge for the New York Yankees. Absolutely massive, to say the very least. If Yoendrys Gomez emerges as a great setup man, do you think Canley gets traded? He's got 1 year left to control, so he's probably just going to hit free agency and depart. But if you're asking me, about Gomez, I want to talk about him a little bit because I think Yoendrys Gomez can be really good. He has good stuff. I like what he brings to the table, and I think he is certainly an exciting reliever and somebody the Yankees should keep tabs on throughout the season with his great fastball and low slot release. The Soto jersey sold out. Yeah, it's been crazy. DeVito over Mayfield. Tommy DeVito might be the greatest quarterback of all time. He might be the greatest quarterback of all time. By the way, go follow Fireside Giants. We're doing great stuff there. So, yeah. Plug in the brand, baby. Hal will get his man. Michael, I agree. This is the next Yankee dynasty for the younger generations. Man, I hope so. I hope this is the Yankees' next dynasty. I really, 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 really do. But yeah. Hold on. Carlos sent, by the way, if you guys want to know where Carlos was in the chat. I'm going to go open this tweet up in my burner account when I'm blocked by people so I can, still get news from some people I don't like. Tommy Cutlets. Yeah, Tommy DeVito might be significantly better than Daniel Jones. So yeah. The Yankees had a strong meeting. They have a clear path from Andy Martino. Oh my goodness. Then a Yankee. We're back, baby. We're here. For those unaware, we are here. We are freaking here. I really hope the Yankees sign Yamamoto Soto long term. I do too. Have you seen Bleacher Report? They ranked the Yankees in number 18 system. I don't give a shit about what Bleacher Report has to say about prospects. I'm sorry. Do you think Vivas and Durban can replace Torres and DJ in the starting lineup in 2025? Absolutely. I think it's possible. Ryan, you just want a dynasty so you can shit talk to people on Twitter, lol. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I want to be an arrogant Yankee fan. I've never been given the opportunity to be like, woe is me. I'm a Yankee fan. I don't care. I want to be the very best. I want the Yankees to have. I want the Yankees to make me be arrogantly good. So yeah. With that being said, though, flow in your last few questions. We're going to be wrapping up soon. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. Again, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe before you guys depart, and I'll let some questions flow in. Because right now, guys, we are on a tear. We are on a soar in terms of subscribers, and we want to keep that momentum going. You guys have been great. The Fireside family. That's what we need like a good name for that. So if you guys have good name ideas, that would actually be splendid. Give me some good name ideas. What will happen first? Ryan Garcia, ESM revealing these 5 to a live stream or address reveal for Torture. It'll be my height reveal. Definitely a height reveal. I did say if we get Soto, I'd do a height reveal. If we do Yamamoto Soto, that's what I'll do. I'm going to push it back a little further. In addition to Glaber, Soto, and hopefully rebound Rizzo, and I think I didn't say Judge. The Yankees, I feel like, need one more impact bat. Who do you think is likely to be at 5th? Wells, Volpe, DJ, Stanton, Verdugo. I'm going to say Wells. I think Wells is the guy. But I think Stanton would be the most important one to break it. Stanton can be that guy. I'm very confident in what we do. But yeah. What's the latest update from Martino? Clear path for the Yankees to sign Yamamoto? Yup. And that they had a strong meeting. So lock in, fellas. We're here. Now I want to watch. That's just a lot of things I saw from Twitter. Again, when you see multiple people say that, it's good. But I want to see the actual. Twitter. I want to see the actual Twitter stuff. How about Adam Frazier as another bat? No, I'm good on that. I think we have enough infield depth that we don't need to add Adam Frazier. So yeah. So I feel. I have a gut feeling that Peraza won't pan out offensively. He's certainly not a sure thing. So yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But, with that being said, We'll have to wait and see. Now, if there's any more questions, let us know. But yeah, this will probably be where we wrap things up. So yeah, Sweeney is Muncy replacement. I think he's just depth for them at shortstop. They don't have a shortstop, so yeah. So yeah, I'll probably wrap things up here. So yeah, so I'll wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, just kind of waiting. I'm kind of like passively waiting on like saying like wrapping things up because I want to see any more questions pour in. I know that there's a little bit of delay between me saying something and then getting to you guys. I think Hal will pay that money to keep Juan Soto in the Bronx for years to come. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think he will. Honestly, I think it's just a good idea to say that Hal Steinbrenner is highly motivated to go out and get a guy like Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So yeah, MJ edits. Hey man, any updates on Yamamoto? Just that the Yankees, seem to have a clearer path. It seems the Yankees are in a good spot. They had a strong meeting apparently according to Andy Martino. So that's what we have on that front. But outside of that, not really much. Nah, I think I'm done. Thanks, Ryan. Great stream as always. Thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate you for stopping by. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping by. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. So yeah. Thank you for your stream, bro. Makes these long off-season nights go quicker. I appreciate you, Richard. You're the man. Guys, you guys have been great with support. Again, like I can't say enough good about everything that's going on with the New York Yankees, obviously, but I can't say enough about what you guys have given us in terms of support, right? Like that's something that I can't emphasize enough, right? And we hit 9,000 subscribers today. Nice achievement for us. I would like to hit 10,000. So, I'm not going to sit here and rest on my laurels, but what I would sit here and say is I wanted to thank you guys before I dipped for just giving us, being there, right? Being the best supporters possible, right? You guys have been great for us and you guys have been great to us. So, I really appreciate you guys so much and you guys are the best. And yeah, so, I just want to make sure to check in. When will you sign with the team? Estimates got until January 4th. I've heard before Christmas, so maybe in the next week or so. Thanks for streaming, Ryan. Have a great night. See you, Kyle. Let's go Yankees. 24 is a big year, not only for NYY, but also FSY. Hopefully, man, that's the goal. And then Brando Man 1328. Seems like Yamamoto met with the Dodgers today. Yep, they did. Thanks for the content. I appreciate you, man. We'll see how this stuff plays out. I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees. You guys know to check us out on our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course the YouTube page. All under the same handle, Fireside Yankees. And you guys also know to check us out on Empire Sports Media. That's where we have all of our New York sports content, our written content, our articles. You guys, I know that I kind of talked a little bit about the fact that the Yankees, that I was in the Zoom press conference today. If you guys want our written content where that kind of stuff is going to be on, that's on Empire Sports Media. So check that stuff out. We've got some exciting stuff for you guys. Thanks, Ryan. Nervous about Yamamoto, but this ease a little bit. I hope that's the goal. I want you guys to, be given information, not through like a negative lens, but through confident lens. Love you, Ryan. Always good stuff. Patrick, thank you for stopping by. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, hopefully you'll be here tomorrow night, same time, 7 o'clock. If you guys want to stop by, make sure you do. Appreciate the live streams, player. Hey, I appreciate you, Boca Loca Baseball. Fire-ass name and a good profile picture. But hey, have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.